Okay.
Are we streaming?
I think so.
Can I watch?
You should be able to watch.
Okay. If I go into YouTube.
Lights
Oh,
up.
watch now.
This light is in kind of a weird position. That's gonna get annoying. Ugh.
Yeah, that's better.
Are you watching?
Yeah.
There'll be some latency.
There is.
Cool.
Probably don't want some.
What a novelty.
Can I grab the tripod so we can
Yeah, man. Hold on. Here's why multiple stream cameras are useful. Like multiple monitors. We can work on that. Just get it cheapy. I also need a quieter chair, huh?
Yeah, what are you looking on?
Probably that thing.
This thing?
Sure.
There you go. It's just me, myself, and I.
Myself and I.
When I was like looking at doing Twitch streaming, they're like, get real fucking good at talking to yourself because you're going to be doing that for a long time.
Yeah, alright. This is why I always really struggled with filming videos by myself.
Oh, yeah.
Like I tried, but I just kept talking to myself. We have 3 people in chat. What the shit? Hey
Oh.
guys.
Easy peasy.
Who's there? Speak friend and enter. Fellow nerds.
Speak anything.
Speak anything. Hello. Who's there? Who we got?
Maybe comment?
Yeah, it's like a live chat thing.
Delay is pretty delayed. Oop, not my butt.
Hey James.
Yo.
Who you calling a melon?
I got a little piece. There it is. I got it.
Thanks, buddy. Who else we got? I know one of us is us. One of the people is us.
Should we put, can I have it this sideways again?
Oh, you need to turn it on. It's not gonna stay.
It's not going to stop, is it?
We're still figuring this out. It'll kind of work in its own way. Hang on, let's see if we can go up here. Is this gonna work? Oh no, that's not gonna work. Sorry guys, figuring this out.
Got the spinny noodle of doom.
Oh, what have I done? I've broken it. I done broked it. Sorry, James, you're our only watcher and we've broken the thing. There's someone else in there. I want to know who it is. Who are you, friend? What are you gonna do?
I was going to work in the Shires.
Oh, no.
The Shires?
The Shires. Okay,
Multiple
some stuff.
Shires. Anyway, hit me up with some paints and some little hollow holesies.
What the fuck is that? You need some brushes too, huh?
Probably.
We're not really prepared for this, are we?
No, we kind of just dived right in.
Typical FCG style.
What are you going to do? Something?
I don't know. Let's just figure it out. Let's just figure it out.
You just pick it up.
Yeah, that bad boy.
He is a bad boy. Cool. Going down. Army painter, vehicle terrain.
Vehicle. What do you think I use?
Oh, probably some brown.
Brown, some earthy tones.
Yeah.
Let's grab you whatever, huh? Some greys, some browns.
Let's pick it up. Should probably find out what a fucking shiner looks like.
Oh, I think just wing it, dude.
Just wing it.
Just wing it.
Um,
We have 4 people watching now. What the hell?
I can't handle this pressure zone.
There's too much going on. I'm gonna kill myself if I keep walking across this.
Don't do that.
What else do you want?
You got like a bit more of a richer brown for wood.
Richard Brown.
Richard brown.
Who's Richard Brown? I'm sure I've got Richard Brown in here. How about some morphine?
Why not?
There's some in there.
Cool. Yeah, chuck us.
Got some Doomble. Walnuts. Riot.
All of the browns. Yo.
Palette.
Yeah.
Maybe some water as well.
Some water.
Who else we got? Is there anyone else in here?
Is
it James?
It's just the squad. Your Shire book. Where's your Shire book, Tom? Where's your Shire book?
It's in my bed.
And you be
I
sleep
sleep
with it?
Yeah. Hey Glenn, how are you, man? We are figuring out how the hell this thing works.
Yo, what's up, man? Did I just scratch my crotch on camera?
I'm gonna get banned. Stop that. That's it, dude. This is gonna be such a disaster. I'm so sorry, guys. We are, in typical FCG style, figuring it out as we go along.
We just pick it up.
What can go wrong? You know,
That's-
nothing but professionalism here.
That's exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for, like, Hobbit hole inspiration. Oh,
You just hole in.
what kind of New Zealander am I? I don't know what a Hobbit hole looks like.
Have you been before?
To the Hobbiton?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Oh my god.
Have you?
Yeah. I cried a lot.
Weird flex.
Weird flex, but okay.
Try us out.
We got 6 people now. What the hell is going on? What do you want?
Hobbit hole.
Oh, right, that makes sense. There you go. Let's have that one.
Do you have,
Yeah.
by chance, a smaller brush? Well, actually, I don't know if I'm able. It might do.
That's a stipple brush.
I won't do that.
Did it not give you a small one? That's
No,
what we
I've
want.
just got chunky brushes.
How small?
Well, you know, just like smaller than what I've got.
It's a wash brush, but it'll work.
That'll do.
Doesn't need to be
That'll
fantastic.
do. It's not like. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing with painting anyway.
You don't know how to paint.
Terrible at it.
Hey guys, we got 5 people. One person's already given up. I don't blame them.
Yeah, that's cool. We won't take it personally.
How is the sound and audio and stuff coming through? Is it coming through okay?
Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello.
It's really weird having the delay.
Okay. And also, Tom, I will need a grey.
Okay.
I think.
Oh, great. I'm sorry, my butt is on camera.
Never apologise for your butt.
I always apologize for my butt. Do you want some like ochre browns as well? I've got a Steel Legion
Yeah, that's cool.
and a Tan Earth.
Ooh, lovely.
I actually needed to pick up some greys yesterday. I forgot.
I just need it for the chimney, mainly. Cheers. Cool.
Can hear Tom Fine. Sloane's a little quiet.
Oh, James is here too. Of course he is.
Hey Carver, how are you, man?
Does everybody shake their pots like that?
Get a shake weight.
Do like that.
Yeah, work it. I like the way you work it. Beautiful.
Boom. 5 paints all shaken at once.
What's everyone up to this morning? Anyone else doing some hobby?
Shake, bro.
This is right in front of my face now.
Didn't do shit. Shake them all.
Yeah, my room is very cold.
Can they hear me?
You'll do fine audio.
Well, you're
Audio
fine.
now.
Perfection.
Sweet.
That's what we like to see. Fine audio.
This is such a novelty. So this is just a test, guys. We're just trying to figure out how the hell this thing works. We want to kind of do some more streaming stuff going forward. So we figured we'd just kind of jump into the deep end and...
What other way to do it, right?
Yeah, exactly right. We're either going to sink or swim. So hopefully we'll swim. But we'll see how we go. Sloane's going to be working on some of the hobbit holes that I've been building.
Tom's been making these cool hobbit holes. Well, don't shoot it from there.
Don't shoot it from that angle,
See
please.
the white.
Um,
But yeah, so these, I mean, obviously are just primed, but we're going to be covering them in flock and paint, and they're going to look
block and paint, and we're gonna make them look
when we do the Shire campaign.
real cool. I'm gonna be building a building.
You're gonna be building.
I'm gonna be building a
building
building a building. I've got the old barn kit from Battle Kiwi. So we required a, I don't know what you'd call it, like the storehouse for one of the Scouring of the Shire scenarios, and as opposed to building it myself, I just thought, oh fuck it, I'll buy a pre-made kit. Well, not pre-made, but like prefabbed kit. So I'm going through and doing it. I haven't actually got any instructions. I know there are instructions online, but I'll figure it out as I go along.
I mean, it's a barn. It's like 4 walls and a roof, right?
Yeah, well, you wait until I do it. It's gonna be like some kind of like, what do you call it? Tesseract. It's gonna be a 4th dimensional hypercube. Is anyone else doing any hobby this morning? We are also a little bit delayed in chat, so
Yeah.
we apologize if we're kind of like talking about something completely unrelated.
We live in New Zealand. Our
Yeah.
internet is fueled by potatoes.
Fueled by sheep on dynamos. Just running on those things. What the fuck do I need to do my job?
With your job.
Or like what I'm working on? I need
Glue?
some glue and some tape.
Glue and tape.
I'll be right back.
Should I grab like a tissue or something to dry the brush on?
Yeah, sure. Just finished hobbying for the evening here. It's 11:20 p.m. Oh, well, we can use our dulcet tones to send you to sleep, Glenn.
I do have an ochery voice.
Rock-a-bye, baby. That was a smooth, like... yeah.
Rock-a-bye, baby.
There's nothing like clicking to make you go to sleep faster.
Oh yeah, I love a good click as I'm trying to chill. It's just me here. Oh fuck, he's back.
Sorry. I keep stepping on my holes.
While the cat's away, the mice can play.
Whoa. Do you think this is going to make it to YouTube soon?
Oh, 100% no. I'm deleting this before I leave the room.
Fuck me, I'm just knocking everything flying. Right, glue. That's what I need. Oh, right, you need some tissues. I'll be right back.
That's why I wear flannel shirt. This bad boy has got some wood on it. Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Georgie! How are you, George? Not much hobby, but I'm rolling out Sculpey in a pasta machine.
Wow.
Pasta's not that hard to make if you need, like, food. I'd recommend that over Sculpey.
Are you doing a pasta diorama? Is it Go Trick and the pasta monster?
My favourite of the AOS lore.
Pasta Slayer.
I did want to say thank you to
That's
George
me.
as well. I've been kind of teasing Sloan with we've been getting a present this week. It still hasn't turned up, but George has sent us a massive 3D printed tavern.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So that will be the Prancing Sealy from now on for our Scouring of the Shire campaign. So thank you so much for that, George. Yeah, George Butterbur. So that'll be a huge part of our campaign.
Awesome.
And for our Bree board going forward.
Yeah.
So thanks so much, George. It still hasn't rocked up, so I don't know where the hell that's gone.
Oh yeah, we use sheep to run the post as well. So
It's a sheep-based economy in New Zealand. Everything is sheep. Sheep all the way down.
yeah, that's nice. I'm not gonna use it. Field drab.
What else have we got here? Glenn's just finished Aowen and Dernhelm and Merry. You need to start working on that model, don't you?
I have them and I've assembled them.
That's such a cool model. I absolutely love that model.
Yeah, I just put Aowen's head on a little Mary, so I have 3 Aowens.
Just baby Aowen. Really cool model. It's one of those models that I don't think the Games Workshop paint job did it justice. Because like she had she had a ball bag for a neck. So I'm sure that your one looks nicer than that, Glenn, but the one that's on the Games Workshop looks like she has a ball bag sticking out of her neck. Yeah. The Rohan scrote. What else we got? George makes. Oh, that's fair enough. Yep.
Yeah.
Which roll are you using, George? I've got the ancient Greece one that has like the Medusa heads on it, which is pretty cool. That was for about like 6 army projects ago that never really came to fruition. So if you want another one, let me know, George. I'll send it to you.
Chris Brown's got a league question for you, Tom.
To take part in the painting competition in New Zealand, do you just join the Facebook page, or is there a sign up for the league? No, so Chris, if you just join the New Zealand Hobbit League page, and as soon as you take part in any event in New Zealand, you'll be kind of put onto the league itself. But for the painting competition, you can just upload photos onto the page, the specific albums that I've set up for each month. So just throw them in there, and then at the end of the month, I can put your kind of thing up in the poll so you can vote, which would be pretty cool.
Yep.
But it's nice to have you on board, Chris.
Easy as that.
Yeah, it's a good little thing, that one. I don't think I've ever won it. Sloan wins it a lot.
Oh, when I paint.
When you paint, I just kind of put stuff in there to try and win points, but because points are for cool people. Oh, you've got the Greek one already. No worries. I was just saying to George, he's already got the Greek one. The rollers. Went for a tea leaf base to simulate the scorched earth from the Witch King's death. That's cool. That's really cool. You'll have to flick us some photos so we can actually have a look at it.
Hey, that'd be a cool thing we can do. Get people to send us their stuff.
We can utilize the Facebook page a little bit more than me just spamming random shit on there constantly.
Yeah, like a little showcase.
Yeah. Yeah, Glenn, send us some photos on our Facebook page if you're a member over there, or...
It's not all about us.
No, it shouldn't be.
I mean, it's 99% about me, but it's not 100%.
What's Carver got to say? A lot of the first new plastic models look quite terrible because of the GW painters, but we're gorgeous sculpts. Good to see they've been getting better stuff with the layer stuff. Must have seen the complaints. Yeah, I think a lot of it as well is when they release the Forge World stuff, the Forge World painters aren't... I don't know, I don't think they're as good at painting characters as they are painting like vehicles and stuff like that, because I think Forge World used to just be like tanks and aircraft and stuff like that.
Titans and stuff.
Yeah, so they're like good hobbyist painters, but like for like character level stuff, I don't think they ever really got...
Like airbrush painters,
Yeah, so I don't think they ever managed to get...
I don't know anything about what they do, but
No.
you definitely notice the difference.
But like some of the paint jobs, the new paint jobs look a bit iffy.
Yeah. Who am I to judge? I can't
Chris,
think of shit.
sweet cheers. May have a few entries this month and finish Boromir and most of Baelon's Bear this weekend. Picking up the start of next weekend. Sweet. Oh, we'd love to see photos, Chris. If you want to post them on the Failed Charge Game page as well. We have a Facebook page. It's like Facebook/Failed Charge Game, something like that. We'd love to see them, man. We always want more. Baelon is a cool model, though. That bear is beastly.
Yeah, which version did you get? Did you get the chill version or the X version?
I can't remember which one comes with what. They're both cool, though. The actual Baelon models are awesome.
Yeah, there's like one who's just like kind of like standing with his axe, and there's another one who's kind of like about to like chop off an orc.
And that starter set is such good value. Hey, Gimli. Sorry, we have a cat in the room. Facebook page linked to the group. It's nice to support and grow the hobby worldwide. It is nice to grow the hobby worldwide. I mean, we're trying as much as we can community-wise, but I'll have to flick the link up for our Facebook page if I can remember what the hell it is. I'll chuck it up on the stream after. But we always like to see more on there. He's got the chilled version. That's cool. That's the one where he's like leaning on the axe, isn't he? He's like and standing on the log or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool model. I thought they cast Bayon really well in the films. The big Swedish fella. Or Danish.
I got this joke though. It's like, cause he's got the gap in his beard. I'm the one that come down from the mountain.
From the mountain. I don't like
Cause
dwarves.
he's got like the weird shape, like the inverse goatee.
So far, all I've done is just mashed these pieces of wood together. I haven't actually achieved anything. Maybe I should do something that requires less concentration than gluing.
You want to paint up a shot one?
Yeah, maybe I'll paint up a shot. I'll do some fields.
There you go.
So I've also made little fields. So the plan with these, yeah, we got Farmer Maggot's farms to kind of work through as well. Do you want to check me here, big brush? Cheers.
Chunky lad.
Oh.
Thanks, lad.
That's so nice.
I've got some more Moria Spice coming up in the works as well. I got Durin, I got Martin, I got a King's Champ, I got a couple of Voltwood teams and a Ballast Day. Like I took the Barlin list to Desolation here in Wellington, and like it's a pretty good list, but it was just very very one dimensional. There was just a lot of foot troops, and like Barlin's great, but he doesn't stand up to some of the other kind of like similarly costed.
Because how much is yours? Like
110.
110.
110, fight 5, strength 4.
We're echoing now, apparently, Carla.
Hello.
I wonder if that's my fault. Is it still doing it?
Could just be this damn Kiwi lag.
Maybe we were just be very, very quiet. I'm worried it's me dry brushing. How's that now, guys? Weird. Yeah, we're still trying to sort this out. It's kind of very much a work in progress. So sorry if it sounds a bit dodgy. Well, we have a ninth person. Someone else has joined us.
Friends.
As soon as you started talking about dwarves, sounds like you were down a mine. Well, that's quite appropriate. Yeah, I'm not sure if this mic will work for us, but it's kind of the best we've got at the moment. I might just pop it a little bit higher.
Yeah, what would cause an echo? Lag?
Don't know, maybe lag. Like, you shouldn't be picking up anything else.
Do I speak twice? Do I do something weird and I just don't know?
I haven't heard you.
Okay.
So personally, no.
Good.
But yeah, keep updating us with how the sound works, guys, because
Yeah.
we can't hear ourselves.
This is a testing.
Yeah, .exe. Better. Cool. Thanks, George.
Nice. Yeah, we fixed it by doing nothing.
Well, we kind of did something.
Do we?
I-
We shut up for a
We
minute.
shut up for a second, and then it goes away. We're not in like a soundproof room or anything like that. We're in my crappy little studio, so... Hang on, let me shut this. Maybe if we shut off that.
Oh yeah, there could just be a room echo.
Could just do room echo.
Sorted.
Is that better? Cool. But this is something we've wanted to do for quite a while.
Yeah, I always wanted to do it with my painting, just get into like streaming my art. But it was just pain in the ass setup, especially from New Zealand doing live streams is kind of like time wise pretty problematic. Like, someone to live between.
Line the walls with eggshell curtains. I've actually got a whole bunch of sound insulation at work that I kind of want to steal. George has now got a message retracted. Well, I don't think it was that bad a message, George.
Uh-oh.
You should keep that hate speech off the chat, George. I've told you this before.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. I think you're a maniac for painting me out of stuff first.
It's pretty easy to fill in.
Is it?
Yeah, you can be this careful like when you're painting like space marines and stuff like that.
Space Marines?
Yeah, ooh, that's me. You do the trim first, and then it's easy to just kind of like fill in, and it just kind of pours into the recess.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Do it for
you
it.
can push the paint around rather than like trying to like line the edge of it.
As far as trusting someone with painting here, I think they'll trust you over me.
Maybe it's just a confidence thing.
Maybe. I lack that sorely. Sorry, sir.
Oh yeah, confidence painting. Whole lot of failures lead to knowing these things. Tan Earth. I think I'm gonna do the background of this.
Thanks, Glenn. No, it was a good tournament. It was really well received. I put out a little poll afterwards. All right, see you later, George. I put up a poll.
Nice to meet you, man. Thanks again for the tavern.
Yeah, looking forward to coming there and having that and
That's gonna be awesome.
painting that all up, and yeah, amazing. The custom heroics went down really well. I put up a poll at the end of the tournament just to see which actually got used more than others. And that's given me kind of a lot of information on which ones to kind of keep and which ones to modify going forward. But I think the big win of that tournament was the momentous moments,
Oh yeah.
like the little things that people could achieve in game. everyone seemed to love those, and they all went super quickly. So I need to kind of maybe come up with a few more of those in future and space them out a bit more, or I know we'll have to kind of develop something. Are we going to implement something like that for Big Wars, or?
I don't see why not.
I just put my finger right in the fucking paint. This is what happens when we share a palette. I just stuck my finger right into paint. So whereabouts are you based, Glenn? Are you in the UK? We're slowly getting Northern Ireland. Ah, sweet.
North Island. I was like,
North Ireland. Oh, you're from New Zealand.
Hey. No, North Ireland.
Ireland.
That's where you're from, Tom.
My family, my mother's side is from Cork, so Republic.
Ooh, don't get that wrong.
Don't get that wrong. Is there much of a scene over in Northern Ireland? I guess they kind of have the same thing with like New Zealand and quite a small population comparatively.
Maybe, yeah.
But I guess you are also close to like
Hop's given a jump to
the big tournaments in the UK. This is like the first time we've had an opportunity to actually crack on with the scouring terrain. It's kind of been sitting here for a long time.
It's a good excuse to get some done, eh?
Yeah, I've been pretty slack with it, to be honest. Can you check us that one thing, please? So.
Yo, Fergal from Northern Ireland as well. Oh, well, there you go, Tom.
Hey guys, Fergal.
There's a disproportionate number of players in our stream from Northern Ireland.
What can I say? I don't actually know what to say. That's great.
What can you say?
What can you say? It's nice to have you kind of watching, guys. It's nice to get some internationals in.
Yeah. Yeah, like when we put this up, we just thought, oh yeah, it'll be all us Kiwi folks on a Sunday morning. It was pretty cool to see some peeps from around the world. It is Sunday morning over here, eh?
They just want to have us to put them to bed, you know.
Yeah, those ochre voices that we've got.
Deep resonant voices.
Yeah. What is it? What is that? Like the boat traffic channel or something like that.
Oh, with Peter Serafanowicz. Yeah. Fran, I'm coming, Fran. Fran. That is a good question. It's 11:37.
Yeah.
Connor, how you going, man? SBG isn't big with my mates, so I'm going to England next year for Top Table Gaming's Weekender.
Oh, nice.
The guys at Top Table Top Table are absolutely wonderful. They've been quite a massive support for us. I've been kind of talking to them. I jumped on one of their live stream recently, which is kind of what kicked my butt into doing this for us. Wanted to keep going with this kind of thing, but that's real cool. It's a shame that your friends aren't into it. You should kind of... Are they gamers, or are they just kind of into different systems? Because like I've had to introduce this game to a lot of people who kind of weren't Lord of the Rings folk originally.
Yeah, no, I was strictly Age of Sigmar, right?
Yeah, so Sloan has an Age of Sigmar background. I used to play this a long time ago, and kind of fell out of favor with it for quite a long time. But coming back has been real nice, and we're slowly indoctrinating a bunch of Age of Sigmar players into joining. 40k is much harder to get involved. That looks fucking sick, dude.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ta-da! Getting there.
Getting there. It looks more like a hobbit hole now.
The reason my brush was really weak when I touched that bit.
I don't recommend using your thumb. We're up to 11 people.
Cool kids.
Cool kids.
Let's go. How to play series. Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be useful for Lee. Sure, that
could be useful for me.
You can play. You know what you're doing. Yeah, I think so.
I think sometimes I'm just good at rolling dice. Tom's like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. You're gonna do this, and I rolled a 6. So I guess you're not.
Yeah, well, I mean, all of the best plans could be undone by a
Yeah.
simple 6, you know.
Alright, and then for the ground, I think we probably want something a little bit
More 40k RPG gamers, some don't even like Lord of the Rings. I think you get
more.
extradited out of New Zealand if you don't like Lord of the Rings
If you
here.
don't like Lord of the Rings, yeah, you have to leave.
Yeah, you're removed from this country.
Yep.
Um,
Deleted permanently.
yeah, 40k is just so popular.
I mean, yeah. I think it was still the biggest one here as well.
Yeah, it's definitely the biggest in New Zealand. RPG games I play a lot of. I haven't played too much recently. It's something we kind of want to do together in future.
Yeah.
Some RPG games, whether it'll be on the channel or not. Probably
Well, I mean,
not.
I'm working on a lot of Mordheim stuff.
Yep. So we're working on some more time.
Yeah, that's something that I want to do, whether or not we do it on the channel. Do you guys want to see Mordheim on the channel? It's pretty fun.
More time's real cool, and like with us making up stories and shit like that, like
It's just gonna be a whole lot of carnage.
yeah. Again, it's just the narrative stuff. Like we want to do more narrative scenarios. Like this is the whole reason we're kind of pumping towards the scouring, is it's going to be like 16 to 17, kind of matched, like linked scenarios. So that's awesome for us. Like I'm going to be taking the evil guys because that's just how I roll. Sloane's going to be running the hobbits the entire time. And yeah, it'll be real cool. We've kind of got some plans for some narrative battle companies as well.
Yeah.
Kind of using the RPG element. So I'm writing a campaign for that, which would be real cool. I think we're planning on setting it in like Eregion kind of area.
Look who showed up.
Josiah, man. Hey, man. Welcome. We're kind of just figuring out how the hell this all works.
Well, look who decided to show what the cat decided to drag in.
The big dog's here.
Yeah, what's it? MESBG dead.
Yeah, so we're
Josiah?
joined by New Zealand Hobbit League royalty. Josiah has joined the chat. This is just Josiah's playground, and we're all just playing in here.
Are we going to doubles? No, Tom is in Argentina,
Yeah, I'm flying to Argentina in a few days.
and so without my partner, I've got nothing.
Yeah, I mean you have Liam, but
I don't,
basically nothing.
I don't think he's on track to go to doubles either.
He's too busy lifting weights and
Lifting weights and
pumping iron,
and pumping iron and running
impressing girls.
a store.
That too.
He does have a life.
Have you guys seen much of the Star Wars Legion in regards to other systems? The Scouring the Show sounds cool. Star Wars Legion looks pretty cool. It's
Brendan tried to get me into it, eh?
yeah. So
well, I mean, he pitched it, and I said, well, I already played like 5 systems.
yeah, that's the thing. Like we have a real issue with time between me and Sloan. Like we barely.
It looks awesome. I'd love to do it.
Yeah, like I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. Like I'm covered in Star Wars tattoos. Like I love everything about that universe, but the game to me, and from what I've seen of the game, it seems a little bit static in my mind. Like I would love to build a board, and like I'd love to build all of the models and everything like that, but I just don't know if the gameplay itself lends to how I like to play. I'd much prefer to play like a Star Wars RPG or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but like I know Lockie on Zorpazorp is real keen. I know he's been producing some videos for it.
Yeah.
So he's getting busy for that. So that'll be real cool. So go check out Lockie on Zorpazorp if you want to look at some Legion stuff. We kind of like, I don't know, we're aiming towards more narrative stuff, I think. So like we're going to be doing a lot of like Lord of the Rings narrative, some Mordheim narrative, and then
Yeah, we've even talked about doing some Age of Sigma narrative eventually, eh?
or some Necromunda. But I think
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is our kind of major drive because that is like
Nice.
our big love, you know.
That's what put us together.
Yeah.
That's what pulled the team together.
Yeah. So, and like it's where most people follow us for. So, oh, we're losing chat a bit. Glenn, I prefer narrative gameplay. This weekender event will be my only second tourney. I bet Sloan will get the named hobbits killed in every scenario.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean that's the aim. I mean my real goal. I don't even care if I win the tournament. I just want to arrest as many of them as humanly possible, using the cool ruffian. Like they've got handcuffs they can like lock people up with. I reckon if I lock up any of the hobbits, I should put you in handcuffs. Because maybe I have access to handcuffs.
Maybe we do like a little what do you call it? I want to say gambling. What do you call it? You know, when you sweepstakes on how many named hobbits I get killed.
I'm actually worried because the The Hobbit heroes are way better than the Ruffian hero.
Oh, you know I'll fuck them up.
I know that, but like they're way better. So it'll be interesting to see how we go anyway.
Yeah. So taking dwarves to doubles, Liam probably doesn't want to feel Dwarven Fury. Yeah, it's probably, he's probably just staying away from you, Jane.
I saw you try and grudge him in for the Battle Company's day, but I think he's still a bit bitter. We'll put it this way: you beat him that hard, James, and he went and bought an Angmar army. So
yeah, so expect to have 0 fight.
yeah. What else have we got? Enjoy South America, Tom. Thanks, man. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be nice to get away. Going away for a couple of weeks. Heading up through the deserts up near kind of the border of Bolivia, which will be real cool. Just try and stay out of trouble.
Yeah, Sai said you'll find me a partner. Good luck finding someone to play with this loser.
Yeah, no one can handle Sloane like I can handle Sloane.
Yeah.
No,
It takes a certain amount of lunacy.
I was actually really disappointed to miss that tournament, Josiah. I was really looking forward to it. I think I even, towards the start of the year, tried to convince you to change the date for it, so much so that I wanted to come. Yeah. It'll have to be next year for us, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, we're definitely coming to the... Is it Over the Top?
Over the Top, yep.
Yeah,
so we'll be coming up for Over the Top.
Planning a big weekend again.
Because that was
that was
kind of what brought us together.
It's
and
the highlight of the year so far.
Yeah, definitely the highlight of the year for us.
It was such a good weekend.
So we're looking forward to that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately we'll have to miss the team tournament. But it'll be good to catch up for finals and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So MESBG cops. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, those little stunty bastards have got to answer for their crimes. Yeah, oh, nice. Yeah, we'll have to. We'll come up with something fun for it. But I don't know. I'll get some of the supplies and lock you up when you're doing bad stuff.
Alright. I think that's probably about as much for base codes.
I don't think you need to do too much more than that, yeah.
Because a lot of that's just
It's going to be flocked over.
flocked over.
Do you want another one?
So, I mean, that you can't really see fuck all on there, but
No.
we'll put a bit of a wash and a dry brush on it, but like those are the colours, and then the rest of it's just going to be grass.
So,
It's the show.
because I'm a cheapskate, I haven't bought any of the Forge World ones, so I can show you how these are made. So, it is just foam on foam core base, and then I've gone over with a lot of, what do you call it, like packing tape, the kind of like papery tape?
Masking tape?
Yeah, like masking tape to like smooth out the finish, and then I've gone over with
Like a gesso-y stuff.
not gesso, it's what do you call it? Like plaster,
yeah.
like
Filler.
spackle kind of stuff, and that just makes it like really hard
Yeah,
and
so it's
pretty
all
durable.
foam, yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll just paint these up and
Drown them in flock.
drown them in flock and wash and stuff like that. So like, the Forge World kits are really cool, but we operate on a hell of a budget, being whatever we can kind of throw together for that week to pay for
Yeah.
things.
Good thing Tom is hella industrious.
Yeah, so I've been making lots of these little hobbit holes. So I can show you one that's kind of a work in progress. So this is going to be a bigger one, so you can kind of see how it works. There's like various bits of balsa wood in there. The little thing, but like chimney. My words aren't working this morning. I couldn't be bothered making windows, so as it's the scouring, I've boarded them all up with kind of big planky things you'd put over your windows.
Well,
Why
they're
can't I
at war.
talk? Yeah, they're at war.
So they don't want people sneaking in through windows.
Exactly right.
So,
So,
they've got little wooden little shields on them.
so this one needs to be plastered and kind of primed and everything like that, but
Yep.
just to kind of gives you an impression of
Yeah,
what they
that's-
look like before they
that's
get
the
to the later stage.
Nice. Does look good.
Thanks, man. I gave you another one, didn't I?
You did. I am
Neat.
footed for numero dos.
Numero dos.
And I will start painting wood. You know what, Tom? I think I was wrong, and I'm going to do
The inside?
the inside first.
I had a feeling that'd be the case. Taking Death of Gothmog, Witch King list. Aowen marry the 3 hunters from the Legendary Legion and a nameless ranger costs 30 extra points. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Yeah, that'll be a fun list actually to play with. It'll be kind of rough. You'll have to use Aragon's free might a lot to kind of scoot
yeah.
yourself around the board. But yeah, let us know how you go, and definitely send us a photo because that sounds like a really fun, themey list.
You could recreate that little diorama that
Yeah.
they like made, right?
That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, that one that's like you can actually just buy.
And I guess if you're having to travel, you want something that's small to kind of
That's true.
move. I'm running an exceptionally themey list for finals, but it's kind of top secret, so I'm not going to let it out at the moment. But I'm going to come dead last at our finals, but at least I'm going to look cool.
You won't.
I'm going to look cool doing it.
Because I'm playing, so you'll at least beat me.
No, we'll just tie.
Like last time.
Like last time.
Tie, but not really.
Tie, but not really. It's a nice tie. Have you guys ever played the campaign system from the Battle Games of Middle-earth magazine from back in the day? Those Hobbit holes look dope. Thanks, man. I'm pretty stoked with how they come out, and I think they'll look really good when they're all flocked up. We need to get some more like flowers and lichen and stuff like that to put some variety in.
Yeah.
The campaign system from the Battle Games of Middle-earth. I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you just play the magazines...
in order.
Oh, I don't think it needs to be in order. I don't think the magazines are in any particular order. I think they started out in like Moria and shit, and then they kind of dashed around. But yeah, like there's a bit of like narrative fluff in each of those.
We'll have to look, because I have got copies of all of them.
Yeah, I've got hard copies of all of them. Remember, I bought them.
Oh shit, you did as well. Yeah, so we're gonna have to go through it and have a look. Like, we do want to play some things from the books. We're looking at doing the Wizard Duel, which would be really fun. I've always wanted to play that. So the Gandalf versus Saruman and Orthanc.
Yeah, you bought the
I bought the Palantir for it.
Palantir,
Yeah, so that'll be really cool. But I'll have to keep an eye out and have a look at some of those scenarios in there. Like, Sloan and I have got some ideas to play some smaller little narrative scenarios. But it's just kind of finding time.
Yeah.
Please pass me the tissue. They don't want to find Sam's hiding under the windows. I mean, don't we all want a Sam under our windows, really? We all need the kind of loving support. He's the real hero of the story.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's undisputed now. After watching it 5,000 times, I can definitely say Sam is the one that brings everyone together.
He has the best story, the best arc. He has the best music in the film. Like Samwise the Brave, when he's like telling his little story.
It's the best speech, yeah.
Oh, so good. And it's worth fighting for, that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, my heart gets me every time. So I'd be happy to find a Sam. There was a map campaign where you build armies and battle over Middle-earth. Oh shit, that actually sounds pretty cool.
I don't remember that name.
That sounds like the old Warhammer kind of Warhammer Kingdoms, I think it was. I just painted on my microphone. Oops. So you kind of take control of various like provinces and stuff like that. That sounds a little bit like the new Battle Companies campaign as well, like the map campaign one.
Map stuff is cool, like.
We'll have to look into that, Chris. That sounds pretty cool. Defo taking pics in the morning with light. All heroes list at 500 points because it's easier to play, paint, and track. Yeah, I like all hero armies as well.
They're hard though, eh?
They are
so
hard.
tough to play.
But like,
I've had no success playing with Fellowship.
Yeah, like Fellowship are really good. They are just a very techie army to kind of run. You really kind of. And I think it was one of the first lists you started using when you were playing as well.
Yeah.
Which is throwing yourself into the deep end a little bit.
Yeah, be a bit better now that I know the game a bit better.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there was something so appealing about like coming from Age of Sigmar where like an army is like 100 models plus sort of thing, and then Tom was like, "Oh, you can just play the Fellowship," and I was like, "What?"
Took a little bit literally.
It's like 9 models. I can do that. Build an army for like $100.
Well, like I ran Thorn's company at the league finals last year, and I think it came like 10th or something like that with them. Like I got
there was 11
a few
people in
wins.
that competition.
There was 11 people. No, there was 30 something people. So, and this was before they got fixed in the Hobbit book, so they all had to deploy individually. None of them had March. Like it was a bit of a nightmare, but they were good fun. I'm literally gonna try.
Sam's the main hero. Fuck yeah.
Sam is the main. Everyone loves Sam. Even with his terrible like West Country accent.
I was so devastated when... Oh, actually, that's a spoiler.
Yeah, don't go to that. I think I know what you're going to say, so don't.
Yeah.
I wish there was a Samwise the Brave profile, though.
Oh, like, when he goes from, like, Samwise Gamgee to Samwise the Brave?
Yeah, like, when he, like, bumps up in, like, Cirith Ungol and goes, like, rage mode with the two swords and stuff like that. Like,
well, I guess that's him using heroic strength, right?
Yeah, I guess so. And I guess he gets the heroic combat and everything like that,
Yeah.
but...
Fucking
he's-
Super Saiyan walking up those stairs.
Did you ever play the PlayStation 2 game,
Which one?
the Return of the King?
Yeah, oh god, yes.
And like there
Gotcha.
was that level where you play as Sam in Kirathongal.
Yeah.
Man, that was fucking fun. I used to love that game.
I used to play that game with my friend Ryan, and I would play as Gimli, and he'd play as like Aragorn, and like it's just you're at such a disadvantage with Gimli because like you've got like the small legs. So like Aragorn.
But it takes you
was,
forever
like,
to get anywhere.
Yeah,
kind of
Aragorn
thing.
was like dashing around, getting all these kills, and like the experience wasn't shared. So like Ryan would be like level like 3 or 4 ahead of me, and like, I mean he's also just a fucking good gamer.
Glenn, I'm gonna try and spend 10 might in one turn. Yeah, do it. Just call heroic combats with everyone and just throw people off. There's nothing scarier than being like, I'm calling 7 heroic combats, and people will be like, what the fuck is he gonna do? Like,
Oh, it's like playing the Riders of Fate. Isn't it?
yeah, it's just too many things to deal with. Like, people just don't know how to react to that. As a new player, old player returning, the White Council seems cool. Galadriel, Saruman, Gandalf, Radagast, the Eagle, and Elrond. Yeah,
Cool
White
for sure.
White Council, they're a techie army, and it really depends on who you're coming up against. If you come up against the right army, you will wreck face.
Yeah.
And it's all about the scenario and everything like that. Like, if you're playing narrative, White Council's fantastic. Like,
Yeah, man, White Council probably did pretty well against Angmar. Right? Lots of
White Council, yeah, I mean, you've got Galadriel with Banish. You can just, like, pop those ghosts off and, like,
yeah. Lots
deal with them really
worlds
quickly.
resist all of their like shit.
The one kind of build suggestion I've had with the White Council is putting the 3 wizards in makes it really quite squishy, but you do have the option of taking Glorfindel and Celeborn, so you can like up the combat level, or else it's really on Elrond and Galadriel's shoulders, and that can be a bit much sometimes.
Yeah, Saruman and Gandalf aren't too good with the sword.
No.
Saruman with the sword.
Glenn, fight 4, 3 attack Sam. That would be awesome. I would be happy with that. Or even if he had the same rule as Gorbag with the more models you throw him into, the more attacks he gets, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. Because he kind of I don't know, maybe he causes terror because he scares orcs. He scares those orcs off for a little bit when he's like shouting and he's the big kind of
Yeah, man, that would be
monster
pretty, that'd be
Sam.
pretty fun actually.
Yeah.
Terror against orcs.
Wasn't there a model of Sam with Sting from that moment? There's a model of Sam with Sting and the Phial of Galadriel when he's fighting Shelob, which is one of my favorite Sam sculpts. Really, really cool. Hey, Brendan's with us. Hey,
Oh,
Brendan. I play Legion when I can, admittedly not very often. Yeah, Brendan was the one trying to indoctrinate everyone local into playing Legion. Sorry we never really got involved, Brendan. It's a cool game, but we barely have enough time to do what we need to do for the channel, let alone play other systems.
Maybe we get Brendan in and he can just like, show us how it's done.
Yeah, he can host the Legion section.
Yeah.
Dan, I've been looking to build some lists with Gandalf the White and Glorfindel purely based on them both being slain and killed by Balrog and then returned. That sounds like a Jerry Springer episode. Like, I was killed by a Balrog and then returned.
The Balrog survivors.
Yeah, Balrog Survivors Anonymous. That sounds really cool. Gandalf the White Man and Glorfindel. That's pretty brutal. That's combat and magic. You're not going to have many points left for anything else, but
Yeah, Gandalf the White is.
It would be pretty cool.
expensive, eh?
yeah,
I
Gandalf the
don't
White
see him
is
run
expensive.
very often.
I mean, Gondor has like 3 big hero options. You can run Aragorn the King, you can run Boromir, or you can run Gandalf. Like,
Yeah.
I would love to run a Men of the West army, but as soon as you put Gandalf and Aragorn in it, you've got like 20 points left for anything else you can
Especially
do.
that one. Like, Fellowship's bad enough with those two in it. Like
Yeah.
340 points or something.
Well, like
that.
he's even rough to fit into Thorin's company when he's just the grey, you know, like.
Yeah, and I guess I get that he offers something a bit unique. You know, he's got like the flash spells and stuff, and he can control things a little bit. But I don't know, not really my playstyle. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not super great on magic, but I need to kind of get into it a little bit more for various reasons.
Well, we'll get some practice with our wizard jewels.
Wizard Jewels. I've been looking at like a combat in the White Council, but hopefully the Eagle would be able to help out Elrond. Yeah, Eagles are pretty good. Eagles are very good actually, especially if you can get the charge.
Especially if they're painted like New Zealand native birds.
Yes, yeah. We've got
What's
a
the best eagles?
we've got Peter in the New Zealand League who paints his eagles as native kind of endemic birds,
Yeah,
which is pretty
like
cool.
A tui and a kia and
So
super cool.
that's really cool to see. But yeah, eagles are very good and they will help out Elrond. Though if you want to play it as cheesy as you possibly can, Radagast on the sleigh is hilariously OP in combat.
True.
So that's also another
It's
option.
a much needed movement.
Brendan, happy to host Legion anytime. Thanks, Brendan.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Have we ever seen rules for the File of Galadriel? I don't think so.
For the what, sorry?
The Galadriel, the file, the thing he uses to scare off Shelob, the little light.
Oh, isn't that in one of their profiles?
I don't think so. I don't know, do you want to check us a book? Yeah, I don't think so. Like, it should cause terror for like orcs or something. That'd be pretty cool. Where are we?
And like Frodo's.
No, doesn't look like it.
Okay. Yeah.
That'd be a cool item to like introduce into like a battle companies or something like that, you know.
I always thought, and this is something I really like about Age of Sigmar, is like artifacts. And like it would be cool when you're building your army, giving your heroes artifacts from a list of Gondor artifacts or a list of Rohan artifacts. You know, like a legendary sword or like, you know, a banner that has like historical significance, and they just offer like, you know, subtle buffs. You know, like maybe it's re-rolling ones in a duel once per battle or something like that. I don't know. It just kind of offers a little bit of customization that I think Age of Sigmar does really nicely.
I think a lot of that stuff is like ingrained into the character profiles in Lord of the Rings. Though, like you have like there are artifact swords that they're kind of linked to one person.
Yeah.
But I understand what you mean. Like it doesn't.
Well, it'd be
There's
like,
not a lot of customization for.
well, it's just the same in Age of Sigmar. Like Gordrak, for example, can't take artifacts because he's named,
Hmm.
but a generic hero can take them.
Yeah, I guess it would make captains a little more
Yeah.
incentivized to take.
And you know, they have point cost associated. It'd be quite cool to just sort of like take a captain and, you know, fulfill a role that maybe a named captain, like, you know, Elfhelm or something like that couldn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good idea. Maybe we can do that for one of our tournaments. We'll like write up an artifact list or something like that.
Hell yes.
It's a special Glenn. It's a special ability in all clutches of the Shelob scenario. That's right. It is. I think it causes terror to her. Yeah, I think it causes terror.
Have to make that a check.
Chris, is the New Zealand League pretty open to conversion versus the actual GW models, such as converting Minister of Warriors with green stuff to be a skill vets? Yeah, I think
Totally.
I have no issues with it.
Declan's done it.
Yeah, so one of our kind of most like prolific converters and painters in our league is Declan, and he has converted up some beautiful Ascilius
Yeah,
veterans.
just gave him like backpacks and.
They've got like full like backpack kit, kind of like an old infantry kit that you see in like a Napoleonic
Yeah.
infantryman, but he sculpted each one, and
Yeah.
they look amazing. And he's cut all their heads off and put on the bear heads of the Swan Knights of Dol Amroth, so they're all like grizzly looking. Like veterans. It's really cool, really nice army. So yeah, I don't think you'd have too many issues. And like, I've run some proxy stuff before, but just always check with tournament organizers. Like, I've had people ask me in regards to things, and I've never had an issue with it as long as it's pretty clear what it is. I think the old adage is like, don't try and pretend a hobbit is a great beast of Gorgoroth or something like that. You know, like
Well, this cardboard cutout is.
Smaug.
Smaug, yeah.
This picture of a dragon I printed on my dot matrix printer.
Something that always cracks me up. I'm like part of the Seraphon like fan page.
Yeah, right.
Like the Lizardmen, your Lizardmen from Fantasy. For those who aren't familiar. And like a running joke is people getting like toy wheel dinosaurs.
Like plastic
And, like
dinosaurs.
this is my proxy dinosaur.
Or like Rex from Toy Story kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, James, lots of people in New Zealand use proxy models. Yeah, I mean, a lot of our range is inaccessible to get.
Yeah.
So,
There's
like,
a huge part of the day.
Sometimes you have no choice but to kind of just grab what you can and kind of convert what you can.
Yeah, so I'm like, I want to run some like Moria black shields and prowlers and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna green stuff some fur and cloaks on regular warriors, just because trying to track down those models is way more hassle.
Yeah, 100%.
Like
So much
$10
to-
each, you
Yeah, they go for a fortune now.
Yeah. So
I don't think it's stupid like me and buy stuff like that.
who pays for this plastic?
Well, now we have Patreon, so hopefully that. Declan's recently converted a bunch. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Brendan.
Yeah.
They're really, really nice models. You can see them on the New Zealand Hobbit League page if you wanted to have a look at those, Chris.
I think Declan Paints is his Facebook.
Yeah, go check out Declan Paints as well on Facebook. That's his kind of commission site and where he uploads everything to.
Yeah, some gorgeous stuff on there.
Can I please have some grey? Oh, grab skating blade. Thank you.
Little Terracotta Doom Ball.
James Sloan, I've got a pair of metal OOP Golden Captains I've just stripped if you're interested.
So I've got a pair of middle OOP Golden Captains that I've just chipped. Oh, that's just what you read.
I was just reading. I was preempting what you were going to say.
I think I'm good for captains, eh? I got a couple of middle ones as well. I got like one with a bow. So useless. Golden captain with a bow.
Golden Captain with a
But
bow
it's
is
so
awesome.
cool. So cool. Oh, and I don't know if you noticed, Tom, there's that Fleshier's warband. Comes with 2 bats.
Does it?
Did you not notice that?
No.
The Fleshier's like Underworld warband has like 2 bats stacked on top of each other.
Oh,
Like,
useful.
bat swarm.
Bats warm. Also, Gundabad Warbats as well.
Yeah.
Not that you run Gundabad, but someone does.
So yeah, more is cool, and I just started painting them. I haven't posted any pictures or anything like that because I don't really do that too much anymore. But I just finished a little warband of goblins and a captain. Took me like 2 hours. I was like blown away by how easy they are to paint.
Yeah, I always like Morio as an army.
That's cool. Lots of variation. Like there's lots of things you can do. You can go like spiders, or you can go wolves.
Stop stealing my tissue.
I'm just gonna go get another one.
Okay. Yeah, there's heaps of different ways you can run it. But James, I'll still buy that Cavendish guy off you when I can. Maybe when I get back from Argentina. There are still some profiles which don't have minis. Ranger Faramir on horse as an example, so third-party proxies are sometimes a necessity for those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or conversions.
or conversions. I think like there was that War of the Ring book as well that brought out like 70 model profiles that didn't have models for them. There were like all these like really weird things as well.
Oh really? Was that?
It was like a different game based on the same model system that Games Workshop produced for like large-scale battles. So it's like a cross between like Warhammer Fantasy and Lord of the Rings. But like they introduced like all of these different characters that just didn't have models.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I remember War of the Ring. Huh?
Yeah.
What were the models? Saruman on Felbeast.
Saruman on Sauron.
Piggybacking.
Together at last.
It's like Senpai noticed me.
Senpai. Desu.
Oh my. More.
I think it's a good opportunity to like convert some cool models yourself and all that. To convert some stuff yourself, but it's really annoying that there's a lot of stuff that came out in the Hobbit range that still doesn't have models. Like I want to see the massive tower, the Ravenhill Tower that Bulk has. You know, like
yeah,
it'd be amazing.
And these been just like basic stuff like Grimbold on horse.
Catapult trolls
Clearly
should be on
on a horse in that scene where Theoden addresses him on a horse and tells him to take his dudes
down
to go
the,
and do the thing.
down the west side.
Yeah. Like, excuse me?
Where you on no horse?
Why in the horse? And yeah, catapult trolls.
Catapult trolls, warbats, all that kind of stuff.
I mean, I get catapult trolls because like they would be huge. Like I can imagine there'd be some like issues there, or maybe not issues, but you know, just like it'd be a big job.
Yeah. Glenn, Legions of Middle-earth book had points for profiles such as elf chariots. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they had like these really weird model profiles. That was cool though. There was some cool models in
They're
there.
just like anticipating the community would.
But I think they had things like Dunland Berserkers and stuff like that, and like they really like fleshed out each faction,
That's neat.
which was pretty cool. Hopefully we can see something like that for
Yeah, you're really excited for Dunland, aren't you?
Yeah, I hope there's Dunland. I mean, I just like Vikings. That's why I hang around you. Big ginger bearded guys. It's
I
my
know.
thing.
Every time I see something Viking related, I think I need to start a Viking themed army.
What have we got? Grimbold mounted for new book, hopefully. That'd be cool. Sloan and I kind of talk a lot about what we reckon will be in the new book. My big goal is a plastic Shaku. Plastic Shaku mounted, foot and mounted kind of thing.
Theodred.
Plastic Theodred would be amazing. I mean, like, and plastic AMR. AMR will have to be.
There has to be a new AMR. There has to be.
I think AMR will be plastic. I think Theodred will be Forge World.
Yeah, totally. I agree.
Because he'll be a character series one.
He's slightly less popular.
But, like, they'll make him look fucking cool.
Oh yeah, he'll be super dynamic. He'll have some like cloak that takes like 5 Forge World pieces to make.
Just like a lot of crossbow bolts in him though. Suck shit.
With,
Suck shit then.
Yeah, with Vrasku.
Yeah, Rasku popping in from a long
Smiling
way
at
away.
me.
But some new Dunland heroes would be cool. Just like releasing Dunland warriors again would be really nice because those wild men of Dunland that I've painted are such nice models.
They're pretty cool, eh?
Like they're just, yeah, I don't know, just generic-y kind of like angry humans.
How do you feel about using like third party for Dunland? Because there's a lot of like historical Viking companies like
Yeah, like I know Victrix do some, and I know Wargames Foundry, and like the guys who do Saga
yeah,
do
that's
some
what
as
I'm
well.
thinking of, yeah, Saga.
I have no issue with that. Like,
Yeah.
there's some really nice historical models out there, but
I mean, like it's on one side I'm like, it's kind of dodgy because it's not a Games Workshop product, but on one side as well I'm like, well, Games Workshop isn't producing these.
yeah,
So like, how can they be angry, or like how can we feel bad as players?
having to use third party.
Well, yeah, when they're not giving it to us.
Yeah, exactly right.
Like, if they want to produce rules for these things but not give us anything to play with, then what are we expected to do? That's my feeling.
Yeah, and like my issue is like I would love stuff to become available because
Let's scouting party for sure, Bryn.
totally.
For sure.
I would like the models to be available because I like supporting the hobby, and I like we're such a small community in comparison to some of the bigger games that it's important that we do show that if they release stuff we do buy it.
Yeah.
And I think that has been shown with the dice and with the cards and all like that.
Those things all sell out.
Selling out like crazy.
I can't understand those cards.
I've got no idea, but it
Have fun.
it'll be
More for other people if we don't use them.
it'll be nice to have access to models again.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just promising that they're even thinking of it, right?
100%. Yeah, and it'll be another one.
Yep.
Burning through these two. It'll just be nice to be able to build models and not have to pay like second-hand scalper prices, kind of thing. Like, I'd much rather pay Games Workshop prices and like than not pad the pocket of someone who's just bending someone over on eBay and kind of making them pay an extortionate amount.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would never buy off eBay.
Yeah.
I would never buy off eBay.
Brendan wants Galadrim. Yeah, I think there'll be a kind of a legendary legion for like the Deeping Wall with Haldir and Aragon and the Three Hunters kind of thing.
Hope they re-release Moha's Command on the store. That'd be cool, with that scout with banner.
Scout with Banner's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's no Fort Thranduil. Yeah, Chris, no. Fort Thranduil is like the Ark of the Covenant at the moment. If you can get your hands on it, you have all the power in the world. I've got a pretty rare model in Elrond mounted, which is also extortionately expensive.
Yeah. Thranduil on foot is probably the biggest reason why I'm not like diving into Mirkwood right now. Like,
Yeah.
I've got some Mirkwood that I'm really excited about. Like I've got Toriel, and I've got some Rangers, and I've got access to a Legolas with Orcrist and stuff, and that's like, it's all super exciting, but just that Thranduil on foot,
It's a killer.
it's a sting. It's such a sting.
And because he's such a...
Why didn't Forge World just... Why didn't you guys just do both? Why did you just do the mount? Why was that? What were you thinking?
He's such a force modifier as well. Like, the whole army is built around him, like,
Totally, like...
with all the buffs and all that kind
Yeah,
of thing.
the guard, all of that stuff is well, I wouldn't say useless, but like...
It's definitely a lot better.
Yeah, you'd be foolish not to put the two together.
Theodred got really killy for a mid-tier hero. This is what I was saying to I almost called you Throne, to Sloan before. Like, Theodred, for his price, is exceptionally good. Like,
Yeah.
you've got to deal with the fact that he can get kind of,
Yeah, he can kind of pull himself.
you
out
can
of
kind of
position
pull
and
him
stuff.
around with the baiting and stuff like that. But I mean, he's just, for his points, he's an excellent killer, and he just does the job. The mini on Elk looks so cool, but can never have him dismount. I mean, Chris, you can technically argue that in the new edition of the game, you don't have to have a dismounted model. It actually says that in the book. You can use a token to say he is dismounted, but I think that's kind of Gumby. Especially because he's gone like a 50 mil base, so he's on one of the biggest bases in the game.
Totally.
So if he's a foot model with a 50 mil base, it's just going to cause so much confusion.
Yeah. I've been pretty tempted to get that like old metal Thranduil.
The old classic one with the staff.
The real.
I really
gimpy
like
one.
that model.
Yeah, it's kind of grown on me, and maybe it's just out of necessity and
Yeah.
not wanting to spend like $100
On a foot guy.
on a like a 25 mil foot dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I've kind of like I've seen him around a few times, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I would.
Maybe I will do
Maybe
this.
I will do that. Can you guys
James.
hear me, by the way? I'm kind of far away.
No, you're fine. You're coming up fine on the audio tracker.
Sweet.
Urk Scout with the two-handed axe from the Fellowship movie, please. Even if it's a Scout Captain, seeing as there's no model for them. Most of them use old metal Scouts for them. There was
Yeah, it's very rare. Eh?
There was a two-handed Urukai Scout. It was like an unreleased model. I think there was... I kind of spend way too much time researching this shit. There was issues with the mold. So when they produced him, each time they brought him out of the mold, he'd have like something wrong with him. Like his face would just be like... He'd look like Tommy Lee Jones from Batman Forever kind of thing. Like, it just looked really Gumby when they took it out. So I think they just scrapped the mold line, and as a result, he kind of never really got mass production, which is a real shame. But there's like a lot of models like that that came out for a little bit, and then they just scrapped. Like, there's a whole other range of Mordor Urukai that never see the light of day, but you do see them pop up in books. And they're really cool, but they kind of never came out,
Alright.
which is a shame. I've got the old Radagast with the Raven in terms of maybe rare minis. Yeah, that's a classic mini. Really useful in battle companies if you've got a
Oh yeah, because he can just kind of be like a wizard.
like a generic shaman.
Yeah,
He looks really cool. I like that model as well.
Yeah,
And like,
pretty
I think
cool.
I'm one of the
Looks very druidy.
yeah, I think I'm one of the few people that actually likes the design they had for Radagast in the film. But I'm a huge Sylvester McCoy fanboy because I really liked him as the Doctor as well. So I kind of was happy with how he looked and his silly little hat
I
and old bird
I
shit.
adored him. Eh?
Yeah, he was a lot of fun in that movie.
I'm a real sucker. Anybody who knows me will know that I'm like super easily pleased. Like I liked Suicide Squad, I liked Justice League, just because it had like cool action scenes and heroes that I liked. Yeah, I know.
well,
Super easily.
I
pleased.
gotta draw the line somewhere. James Carver, handsome Urukai sculpts only. Yeah, boy, that's why my army is only handsome Uruks. We can only have pretty boys.
Yeah, I take all the ugly fellas.
Yeah.
We're the underdogs.
All I
We're
can
the
think is like,
losers.
all
We're
I
the
can think is
losers.
like, handsome Squidward, where he's got like the perfect chin and all that kind of stuff.
Glistening.
I just want to do lurts like that now. What am I doing? I'm getting too distracted by chat and not even painting anymore.
You've dry brushed some
Stuff. Can I have a mid grey,
a mid grey.
like Codex grey? That's grey green.
Got this one.
That's fine.
Back into some Mornfang wood.
Wood.
Something I like about Lord of the Rings is all of those old metal collectibles, though, right?
Yeah, the classic models.
You know, it's like there's something a little bit prestigious about owning like an old rare model. Like,
Like I've got a bunch of old rare models, but like I don't want them to sit in boxes. Like I like playing with them.
yeah,
Like I've never really been a collector. Like I like having the models to play with.
nah, like, yeah, I sell my armies quite often.
You and me both.
I paint them, I get what I want out of them, and then they find a new home.
Dan Gross, do you think they'll introduce throwing shields for lurts in the new edition? I hope so.
That'll be moon.
I would love that.
Just as a throwing weapon on charge, eh?
That would be amazing. I would love to see that. That would be, oh man, that'd be so cool. Or even if you could
Never thought
like,
of that. That's great.
because he kind of like pins Aragon to the tree with it. It'd be cool if it got like a paralyze action or something like that off it.
Yeah.
Like if it didn't hurt but like paralyze them or something, that'd be pretty
If
fucking
they're
cool.
up against the terrain, then it does it.
I hope so. I think that'd be really cool. I think it'd be a bit much if all of the scouts had it because the scouts
Yeah.
are already very good.
Yeah, definitely need to up their points by a couple.
Yeah. But that would be sweet to see.
Maybe if it was like, yeah, something that you pay to upgrade, throwing shields.
Chris Brown, how would you guys mix a highlight for brown without just adding white and getting that pinkish tone?
Go for bone if you're going to highlight.
Yeah.
Brown. Use a bone colour. The yellow keeps it pretty natural. I always use Screaming Skull or something like that. It's always going to kind of go pink or it's going to go banana depending on what the core colour of the brown is. Like, you got to remember that brown's made up of all three colours, and there's going to be a more dominant colour in each one. Like Mornfang is
More red.
Yeah, it's a more red brown. Dryad is a more blue brown, and so when you add white, you're going to see that colour come through.
It ups that pigment.
Yeah. So bone keeps it very brown because it's already got the yellow in it, whereas white is just...
White's not a very natural highlight colour anyway. Like,
No,
white
it's-
doesn't really exist in...
No, it's kind of my biggest peeve with contrast. If you just use those contrast paints on their own, is that your highlight color is always white, and that's not necessarily the case. Like, I mean, look at my shirt, for example. You know, light's catching it, but white isn't the highlight. You know,
Similar to
it's
black
just
isn't the shadow. Like, it's
No,
the same
not
colour
always.
again. Like,
not always.
Yeah.
And like in mini painting, like you kind of want contrast. I get that. Well, you definitely want contrast because you're looking at something this big and you want to see details. So I get that contrast is really important, but it can look unnatural if your minis are just black and white.
why doesn't Aragorn have a throwing dagger? Or maybe a special rule for it, like Shaku's dagger. I think that's just game balance. Aragorn is already brutally good anyway. Giving him an extra attack kind of going into combat. I mean, I would like to see it because I love his
Yeah.
dagger.
I don't really. I mean, Gimli has a throwing axe, right? Like,
He does have it in game as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could. Like, it would up his points again.
totally. I think if you
Or
want
at least
to
give him
pay
the
for-
option
pay
of
for all
buying
these
it.
things, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it could just be like his bow. You pay for that.
I would definitely take throwing daggers over the bow.
God, yes. The bow is useless.
His bow is useless. Because if Aragorn's
'Cause
not
he's not an
moving,
archer.
yeah, if he's not moving, he's not doing his job.
You need to be marching him. Like,
Yeah, you've got to be marching and
all the
constantly
time.
moving. Shaku's dagger is really cool, but Shaku's dagger is one of those things that always seems to...
Well, that's his core weapon, right?
It is, but I see a lot of people misinterpreting that rule.
Oh yeah.
Because the rule is something like, for every wound he takes, you can make a strength 4 strike back.
Oh, that's right.
The way it's worded, people are like, if he takes 10 wounds, he should be able to get 10 strikes. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like, it should just be the one strike. But, like, it's worded really weirdly, and I do like Shaku, though. Come on, plastic Shaku.
Mainly just so we don't have to fucking like convert
Yeah.
our foot shakus all the time, right?
Another one of those models that's very hard to get hold of.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a barrier to entry, eh? Sometimes
Yeah.
you want to do something, but try and find it, and like that's just how it must feel when you're like doing Mirkwood. And I've noticed that a lot of the Mirkwood products have even come off the website. They don't.
Is that right?
Yeah, like I don't think they've got the warriors anymore.
Really?
Not on the New Zealand side anyway.
That's a bit shit.
And they definitely don't have any of the captains.
Mm.
Not that you'd ever really use them. You've got Toriel and Legolas, which are perfectly fine. But you know, for like battle companies or something like that, and you want like an alternative sculpt or something like that, those sorts of things.
Brendan, the dagger is elven. Would that play into the upgrade?
That's a fair point.
That's a fair point.
I mean, it would get the elven advantage, wouldn't it?
I guess the thing is if it's
Well, actually,
only a
this is-
throwing dagger,
Yeah, it's a jewel.
elven, it doesn't make a dual roll if it's elven when it's throwing.
Maybe it's just +1 to wound or something.
That's a huge upgrade. That would make
I
it
mean-
effectively +2 to wound in Clash by Moonlight.
Totally. I mean, it's Aragorn with a dagger. Of course he's gonna wound you.
But like, you can't opt to fight a duel with throwing axes.
Sorry. You can't.
Like- So like, if it's elven, the elven rule specifically is for when it's in a duel.
Yeah.
But you can't nominate to fight a combat with a throwing knife. No. So I guess like it could just be elven in name. It doesn't really have to be.
Yeah, because it's not a dueling weapon.
It's not a
so
dueling
that's
weapon,
like
I guess it doesn't
regular
really matter that
duel,
much, yeah. That would be my understanding anyway.
Depends on what they wanted to do with it. If it was just a throwing weapon, then I can't imagine that elven rule would play into it. It'd just be a sick dagger.
Like if he uses it in combat. Can he use it in
Yeah.
combat though?
I don't know. Can you use your dagger in combat? Actually,
Because
No.
if it's a dagger in his profile, then yes, you can use it in combat.
yeah,
But
you
if
can
it's a
do the-
throwing
you can do
dagger,
the stab, right? Like, what is the dagger special rule?
stab or feint.
Feint, yeah, which is sword anyway.
Yeah. But if it's a throwing dagger, I don't think you can nominate to use that in a duel.
No, I don't think you can use throwing axes.
Yeah.
Not that anything. I can't think of anything off the top of my head where.
Goblin prowlers. So prowlers have got the big two-handed axe
Yeah.
and throwing daggers, which means you would then nominate to use the throwing dagger in combat, so you didn't get your neg 1.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can, because I don't think you can nominate to use throwing weapons.
Right.
He did stab Lurtz with it. He did.
He didn't throw it, right?
He didn't. He throws it at him, doesn't he? And then. Oh no, Lurtz throws it back at him because he
Throws it
pulls
back
it out
at
of his
him and then
leg.
he like deflects it.
Yeah, okay, Lurtz should get a throwing dagger there.
An
Once-
elven throwing dagger.
Once impaled, can throw dagger.
Throws weapons back at you.
I don't know, I think it would be a game balance thing. I think giving Aragon too many weapon profiles and stuff like that would make an already very good model even better.
Well, I mean, he is Aragon.
He is Aragon. But you know, he's not fight 7 like Bolg. Not salty. Thinking about it more as a hand weapon rather than a throwing weapon. Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be. It just feels weird to have Aragon only using his dagger when he's got his like ranger sword as well, you know?
Yeah, I can't imagine a scenario where you would use your dagger over your sword unless they gave that dagger a special rule.
Yeah. But then that's like,
which-
it makes it gamey kind of thing, like as a mark of difference, it'd be cool to have throwing daggers for him.
I mean, that dagger had some significance, right? Like it wasn't.
It was a big dagger.
Well, no, just that. Like it was an elven dagger, so it probably had a name
Jim.
and.
Is my dagger Jim? Jim the dagger?
Jim the dagger. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it could. It could.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be rough. We'll have to see. Maybe we should try it in a game. Give him a dagger.
Well, that could
Elven
be
dagger.
one of our like special artifacts. Elven dagger, and you can use it in throwing or in combat.
Glenn going two-handed with Andoril for the lols. Aragon also stabs the troll with it too. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen that film. Apparently he does use his dagger a lot more than I thought.
What do we know, Tom?
What do we know? We don't know nothing. Just poses. I just think if it would just have the same mechanical effects as the sword.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, if they were going to add it in, they'd have to have something original.
Yeah. He also stabs Shaku with it. Fuck,
Yeah.
we're not very good at this, are we? To that point.
Yeah, I think in most cases you'd use the ranger sword, but to add a point of difference, you'd need to write a rule that made that dagger worthwhile
Yeah.
to use in combat.
100%.
Like maybe you get to like stab without the disadvantage or something, or
Fuck, I don't know. Shield with it, maybe?
shield.
Just something a bit different.
Stab with the disadvantage sounds like pretty cool. I know some people who just like stab you every single time.
Stab's fun.
Fainted them. I never use these. See, this is why I'm such a bad player. 'Cause I don't even know the rules. I don't even know what feint does.
Feint, you
something
lower
like
your
fight
fight value and then you reroll ones to wound.
Oh, yeah. You know your
Um,
fight value by what?
D3, I think?
Do you?
Yeah. I think it's either D3 or 1, I'm not sure, I can't remember. I don't play high fight value armies, I play orcs. So I stab. I stab at the best of them.
Well, you also play scouts. It's like high fight troops.
I guess so.
High-
Dan says, okay, how about Legolas mount shield increase Legolas move to 8 8 inches while moving downstairs? That would be amazing.
What I'm pretty sure that is in one of those narrative battles for Middle Earth.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a scenario where
There's a scenario where
there's
he
a
uses
whole bunch of like different like things you have to fulfill to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
But Legolas can slide down a
it.
staircase
And
on a
he does,
shield.
like D4.
Yeah.
Strength 4 hits against anything down the way.
Or if there's anything on the bottom of the staircase, he like instantly removes them from play or something like
Yeah.
that. It's like the amount of shit you have to go through to get it to actually work is hysterical.
Worth it.
But you'd almost have to be like to your opponent, hey, like, I just want this to happen.
Yeah.
Do you mind, like, moving the guy to the bottom of the stairs? I just want to see this. It's
Yeah.
like the one opportunity we've got to do something cool. Let's do this. Glenn, in the book, he doesn't have a sword until Narsil is reforged.
What?
He gets Narsil at Rivendell, though, so he gets it fairly early. I guess he's still got to deal with Weathertop and all that kind of thing. That's
Wait,
true.
He doesn't have a sword?
Aragorn,
He doesn't have a sword,
in the book.
doesn't he?
He gets Anduril far earlier, though. He gets it at Rivendell.
So what does he use to fight off everything?
Sheer force of will.
Like, what does he use in his day-to-day activities as a ranger? The bow.
I guess so, yeah.
Maybe. Huh. I listened to the book, like the audio book, really recently, and I did not notice that detail.
Broken sword plus dagger profile. If you lose a combat, you can stab, as he always uses it when he's getting owned. That'd be pretty cool. Actually, that would be really cool. If he like loses a fight, he can like try and take a swing at you. Because
it could be like a fourth dice or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, just giving someone an extra attack when they've got that much might is just such a powerful thing.
I'm just like, I'm really into like named heroes not being able to die.
I mean, that's the law.
Yeah, like I love how in, sorry, I'm bringing this up a lot, Age of Sigmar, they've just introduced Gotrek, and he is true to Gotrek in the lore.
He does
Like,
die.
he has a 3-up save and then a 3-up feel no pain. Anything that would be more than 1 wound is reduced to 1 wound. Anything that would kill him outright is reduced to 1 wound.
You don't die.
He like does all these attacks. They all do 3 damage. At the end of the combat phase, if there's still models around him, he fights again. Like, it's just very true to how he is.
Like,
in
that's how I
lore.
feel like First Age would work, because like the heroes of the First Age in Middle Earth are so god level
Just
power
busted
kind of
out.
thing. Yeah, like they would have to be that powerful. How you going? How's the production line going?
Yeah, good. 3 done. I think we're gonna change up the paint scheme now.
Nice. We should paint some colourful doors as well.
Oh yeah,
I can get you some paints. Like
Oh,
green
yeah.
doors and stuff like that.
sure.
Yellows.
Yeah. Yep, I've just been doing them as wood. We can have 3 wood ones and 3 fun ones. I'm gonna chuck us, yeah, like a nice. That Caliban looks nice.
Colour?
Yeah. It's very moochy green.
Does he get an impale attack against Urks? Dan, I think we found your next content, I think talking in regards to the staircase slide. James, thinking of a scheme for Rivendell Last Alliance, the Hobbit scheme, or something completely original. Thoughts? Well, I can show you what Sloan is painting for me at the moment. I don't know how well this is going to come up on camera, but Sloan's painting up my Rivendell, and we've gone for a, come on, focus. Going for a purple and black scheme, which is really cool, and like the nice old gold. I don't think it's going to show, is it? Where am I? It's reversed. So it shows up really, just really nicely. I kind of like gold armor on elves.
Gold and purple as well.
Yeah, gold and purple works really well. I'll send you one later, James. There's one I found in, I think it's one of like the books that Weta Workshop released for like the art and background design kind of things for things.
Like steel, black, and red or whatever.
Yeah, it was kind of like cold steel with like
Yeah.
deep blues and like a crimson
Oh,
color,
that's
and
right,
it was really cool. So I'll send you a photo of it later, James, because it looks awesome. I thought about that originally. Glenn, 2 burning brands against the ring wraiths. Yeah, dual wielding flaming torches. Pretty cool way to go.
Again, that's something that's in this scenario. That's a rule.
You can use flaming brands, yeah.
Yeah.
Not many people know, but Aragorn's one of those burner guys. You know, the guys who like does the cool dancing with the stick. He just
Same at festivals.
he just gets on the old Toby and just stands around and spins his
The
fire
old
sticks.
Toby.
Yeah.
What a loose bastard. Oh, my language, sorry.
Chris, play Sauron for a hero not to die. We'd find a way.
Yeah.
We'd find a way to get him killed. I was originally going to run Sauron at the finals, but it's too competitive, so I'm going to take something that's far worse.
It's also really meta.
Yeah. So, yeah, the New Zealand meta is really weird in the fact that everyone here just brings one giant mega monster.
Unkillable things.
Unkillable things, yeah.
I have the Balrog up my sleeve for when I feel like playing that.
Dan, there's a nice looking elf. Yeah, man, they're so nice. I'll show you Eristor because he blows my mind. So this is the Eristor that Sloane's painted for me. Focus. So I have quite a huge Rivendell army that Sloane's painting up for me, which is real cool.
Bit by bit.
Bit by bit. It will take a little while because there's a lot of them, and I don't really play good anymore. So that'll be my kind of return to playing good, I
You
think.
have a lot of luck in the times that you have played them, right?
No.
It's quite challenging playing all mounts.
Yeah. So I've got a huge amount of Rivendell Knights.
It's like 18 or something?
Yeah, I've got 18 Rivendell Knights and all mounted heroes. Got the twins, Arwen, Elrond, Gandalf. I had Saruman as well, but I got rid of him.
Yeah, Saruman in a good army I disagree with.
Yeah,
Unless it's White Council.
Yeah, so I might get Radagast for them as well, but a lot of elves to go through. So Sloane is kind of cracking through them because they're such nice models. I want them to get the justice they deserve, and Sloane can paint those up. Glenn, Hobbit Heroes despite 7 raises my salt levels, as in Azog, Bolg, and Thranduil. Yeah, me too.
But they power creep a little bit, aren't they?
Like I like the characters of Azog and Bolg. There is no way in hell they should be fight 7. Like better fighters than a lot of Elven heroes, better fighters than Aragorn, Boromir. Like,
I mean,
feels weird to me.
Bolg does dance with Legolas.
Yeah.
Quite toe-to-toe.
Well, when the Hobbit books came out, Legolas was fight 7 as well because he was Megalos. He was like a up-pointed one that could take Orcrist and some other things as well. So
I
they
actually agree with that. Legolas is broken.
yeah. They kind of dropped him back to fight 6, which is pretty cool. What do we got? Sour and meta, the game has changed, says Chris. Yeah, in New Zealand, don't trust our meta. James, purple and brown looks great. It really does, it's such a nice scheme. Sloane's done an
Awful job.
awesome job with it. I don't talk this much. Glenn, purple and gold, good royal theme. Yeah, nice kind of, I don't know, for some reason in my brain it reminds me of like the Byzantines from Age of Empires, the kind of the cataphracti armor, the kind of gold with the purple. Brendan here, Tom, I'm playing it. Age of Empires. Welcome to Age of Empires cast.
It's gonna be Andy Barrett, we're just gonna play Age of Empires against each other.
James, that's the Resin Mountain one. Where is he? He's a bit floppy at the moment. His sword needs a rebend. But it is an awesome model. Really, really cool. I can't wait to see what Sloane does with this. He just... Look, man, it happens to a lot of elves, okay?
Yeah, I mean, he's been around a while.
Cool list, tricky to run, says Brendan. Yeah, I think my issue with the Elven Knights is I want it to be too much of a fair fight. Like, I know you can just ride around shooting people off the board, but that's not very interesting to me. So I'm kind of trying to find a nice medium of being like...
Yeah. The Lancers are so good.
The Lancers are very
So
good.
it's probably best to balance tonight. Like,
Yeah.
have them come in and, like, they're kind of like the Brendan, your list that you took the Desolation, where you had the bows and then you had the horses, and they kind of worked quite well together. You kind of bait them in with the squishy rangers, and the horses just come around the back, and like, yeah, the balance is the best happy medium in my opinion. Like Rohan, you can get away with it because so much of their stuff leans into all mounted, and all of your buffs are about being mounted and.
Actually, very little. You're doing me all the time. I don't know why I'm so surprised at that.
I have a painting powerhouse.
Here's something.
Oh, it's gone quiet. Tom, what were you doing?
What are we talking about? I'm currently just working on these stone fences for the farms. I've forgotten how to paint stone all of a sudden, so I'm just trying to fix this.
That looks awesome. That looks great.
I just want it to pop on the table. But I'm just planning on covering it with wine and stuff like that, so...
Oh, yeah. Lock it up.
Lock it up, baby.
Is it just me? Or do these suck? I hate
Citadel
bottles
paint pot.
so
Yeah, I know.
much.
Oh, because you've converted all yours to bottles, haven't you?
No.
Oh, no, you're still in bottles?
I'm still in bottles.
I also hate
Will work.
I also hate the term pottle.
Do you?
Yeah.
Isn't that what it is? A pottle? A little pot?
A little pot. I don't know. It sounds like something someone from like the Victorian era would do. Oh, Marjorie, I'm going to go pottle soon. I don't know why they don't know what that means. Excuse me while I pottle.
I'm going to pottle around the yard.
Going to go pottle down at the gentleman's club. Going to watch Bessie shake her pottles around. Brendan, the all-mounted knights can pull off some cool charges. Yeah, definitely. I'm glad they nerfed Wrath of Brunnen. Is it Nature's Wrath or Wrath of Brunnen? Both of them, I think. Because
they were pretty nice.
it's just obscene. I think that while in theory riding around with bows all day is effective, if boring. Yeah, it is boring. And like, the way I look at this game is, it's a social exchange for me. I don't want it to just be me kicking someone's ass or my ass getting kicked. You know, like the reason we're here is to kind of play a game. And like, while it's nice to win tournaments and everything like that, in the end it's a hobby, and everyone comes in with different ways of playing and for different reasons. So I don't like to play the anti-game. Like, even though it might be effective, I kind of wait for video games to do that kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, no, totally. Always primary thing is to have fun.
Yeah.
And, you know, like you say, yeah, riding around with bows would be effective. I think both parties would just get hella bored.
Yeah, and that's not how you want to win.
And salt is just so powerful. And, like, can ruin someone's day.
Do you mind closing that on your phone?
Do you have an extension cable so I can put it on charge?
No.
Right on.
I'll chuck mine on. Glenn says, I watched the Rohan vs Mordor bat rep where Sloane ignored the objective and tried murdering the troll chieftain. That was so funny.
See, this is why I don't win games.
Yeah. This is how we play. We just try and have fun. I think Sloane just took a lot of umbrage towards that troll chieftain because it just refused to die. And
Oh my god, the amount of times I tried.
that was a really fun game. I think it ended up pretty salty for both of us towards the end. It started salty for me and then finished salty for you.
Yeah, I picked off like how many...
Like pretty much everything in one turn.
Yeah, I got like a really good round of shooting where I was like, oh, it'll be classic Rohan shooting where I get nothing, and then I like pick off 4 or 5 orcs in one go, and I'm like, ooh.
Furious.
I'm sorry, it's one of those days. And then it wasn't one of those days, it was one of those days.
Brendan Hare, it won't win you objectives in most games, but in both spells, yeah. Yeah, it won't win you most objectives, but like a clever player can go from like riding around and harrying to getting on an objective pretty quickly. And like with the amount of mounted heroes you can take with Rivendell, you can really use that might to get the kind of heroic moves and stuff like that to get you into the positions. I don't know, it'll be an experience for me anyway. It's kind of weird for me to have high fight value mounted troops. Like, I'm used to playing sneaky tactics with orcs. That's kind of where my specialties lie.
That's why you're in charge of Team Evil.
That's why I'm leading Team Evil.
I'm in charge of Team Good because we do our best.
Yeah, exactly. You are good. Look at you.
We're
You're a good boy.
Good boy.
You're a good boy. The goodest.
We might need to use your phone for...
Yeah, that's cool. I'll set up in a sec.
For viewing the comments in a sec. Because my phone's about to die. We're using something else for the recording. We're just using my phone to stay on top of how everyone's doing with the feed.
So this has been an interesting experiment. We're kind of having some fun with it.
Yeah, we got 9 folks in here. It's been good.
Yeah, I think we jumped up to 13 at some point as well.
What? Yeah, no, it has been good. We should do this more often.
I agree. as soon as I get back from Argentina.
Look how much I've got done.
Look how little I've got done.
Well,
I'm trying. I paint as slow, like, as this when I'm trying to do it properly. It's kind of looking like walls.
it looks great. Bit of flock around the outside. That'll come together.
We are making progress on farms. Kind of. I keep looking at the camera and being like, I'm going to put it on camera and then taking it off to the side because I'm a moron.
Painting these hobbit holes, you can't really see a hell of a lot because they're still very black, but there's some wood and some clay. Clay? I imagine that's what that kind of background is, eh?
Yeah, it'd be like,
Like a kind of plaster.
what's it
stuff?
called? Cob.
Cob?
Yeah, which is like mud and straw and some other stuff, and
Yeah.
it forms like a brick-like thing.
Yeah.
You get some really nice organic shapes with it. Glenn, like my last tournament, I brought the defenders of Bard's house. Bane ended up heroic combating and killing 2 Easterling cataphracts. The more fun and heroic, the better.
Absolutely.
Bane is a badass. I love Bane. He is a really fun little model. Like, I had a Survivors of Lake Town army for a little while, and then I did the classic Tom thing of selling it. And Bane was great for it. He was really good fun. But that's a really cool theme. I'd like to see that list. Oh, do you mind scrolling up a little bit?
Oh, did we get some?
Chris Brown, what do you think would be a good next step for Mordor after the new starter? You kind of need to get hold of
Is this the starter? You mean the box set?
the box set. Yeah, you've got a whole bunch of Morannon Orcs, which are amazing. I love Morannon Orcs. They
Probably
will
about as much
form.
as you need in that box, though, right?
Yeah, you don't really need too many more than that. They're actually quite expensive points wise. One of the best force multipliers you can get for Mordor is Gothmog. He can turn those Morannons into something particularly scary. Also, trying to get your hands on a couple of banners, some Orc banners. There are specific Morannon Orc banners, but I just use the generic ones and kind of paint them up to look like Morannons. Banners are really important.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how you want to theme your army,
Yeah. Beefy Chiefy.
Beefy Chiefy, you can go down that route. Or the way I'm starting to build mine is Gothmog's Legendary Legion.
I
which
think
is-
that's probably the most competitive one, eh?
Yeah, it's very infantry heavy. So picking up the Forge World guys like Guritz and the Enforcer is a good shout. You can't really go wrong. Like, Mordor's got so many excellent troops and so many excellent heroes. Like, Kardush is phenomenally good. But you can't take him in the Legendary Legion, unfortunately.
Is it the one I got you, the Flame Spitter?
Yeah, the Flame Spitter guy. But if you want to have a chat about lists and stuff, Chris, just add me on Facebook, man, and I can go through it with you and talk you over what I use and everything like that. Dan, going to a good versus evil couple weeks. We'll be taking Faramir's Rangers as going to a good evil couple weeks. We'll be taking Faramir's Rangers as well as Blackgate Opens. I plan on calling my combined list the Barney Stinson. Very nice.
That's lost on me, Tom. Can you explain that?
It's legendary. Legendary Legion. Wait for it. But never mind. Okay. It's lost on Sloan.
Ledge.
You're a ledge. Can you scroll down for me? Yeah, Glenn, Gothmog would be a good second hero choice.
Yeah.
Brendan, at the moment, I've done the Troll...
Okay, yeah. Got it, Dan.
At the moment, I've done the Troll Chieftain and hoping to work on the Mouth of Sauron seems good. The Mouth is pretty fun. He actually got some kills in that battle report of ours, didn't
Yeah, well, I mean, pick his battles.
he? Yeah, pick his battles. He's not invulnerable. He is just a kind of caster that can attack things, but on horse, everyone's okay.
Totally. Oh, do you know what I'm excited for, Tom?
What's that?
Plastic Saruman on horse.
Plastic Saruman on horse. Oh my god, such a cool looking model. And that Grima looks awesome as well.
Yeah.
He looks so snivelly and awful.
Well, he just looks like a good updated version of the middle one, eh?
Brendan, at the moment I've read that one. Blackgate Legion looks so fun. Blackgate Legion is fun. The Beefy Chiefy is hilarious. Good luck with the Athelian Rangers, Dan. That looks so good. Oh my god, adding colour to the doors just makes it pop a hell of a lot.
Green door.
Green door. I'll get you some more primaries if you want to paint some other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with the Athelian Rangers, Dan. They're themey but powerful, says Brendan. They are powerful. I've faced Brendan's Athelian Rangers and they're a pain in the ass to face. Just so many shots, man. So many shots.
That's what makes it so good.
Glenn, Bard, Bane, Sigrid, Tilda, Legolas, Tariel, Keely, Oin, Beaufort, Bofa, and Philly.
I approve. I like it.
Amazing. I love that list. That's really, really cool. I would run that.
Yeah.
Throw in a few Lake Town boys and just go for it.
Yeah, you could just spice it up with a few more militia.
Brendan, although taking 30 plus bows might not make you popular. Yeah, well, you know all about that, Brendan. Ooh. But it is as themey as it comes kind of thing. Like, it is a fun list.
I think that game that I had with you, Brendan, the worst part was just the board. Was just that flat board was just so in your favour. Like, I think if it was on a board with scenery, it might have been a bit more of a match.
Yeah.
But the fact that I was dwarves and you were rangers, and I just 5 inches, 5 inches
No
open
scenery.
ground, 5 inches open ground, 5 inches open ground, 5 inches open ground, took like 6 turns to get to you. And you got that really good shot off with your big baluster. I'll do another hobbit hole.
I think that's it. You've done 4?
4.
Yeah, the 5th one is there.
Oh, you only did 5.
Yeah, well, you only need 5.
Right on. You want to grab me some colours?
Yeah.
And I'll do a couple more coloured doors. That look good. Yeah, that's nice. Got a blue?
I have a stick it on.
Yeah.
What do you want, like a...
Stake it on will be cool. Just highlight up for you. Nice. Coloured doors.
Dan, I take exactly 24 bows, 27 including heroes. So that's the that's pretty much the entire infantry units you can take with the Athelians Rangers. I think you can mainly max out.
Yeah, that's right.
Brendan, yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that board needs some work. I had some words with Declan in regards to that board.
Yeah, it was just the board.
It's a cool board. It just needs scenery.
Yeah. Like, Brendan, you did what anybody would have done on that board and just shot a bunch of dwarves. It wasn't like it was a salty game or anything like that. It was just luck of the draw on that board.
Just worked in his favour.
Totally.
Glenn, though I bet Blinding Light scuppers that 30 bow list. Yeah, but even if you throw 30 dice, you're going to get some 6s eventually.
Yeah, and that blinding light isn't across the entire board.
No.
So, just move away from it.
Blinding Light is useful though.
God, yeah.
Brendan, I was really hoping we'd get another board as that one we got was so not in your favour. Yeah. It's a cool board, it just needs some work.
Even just some like rock formations or something, yeah.
Something.
I'm sure
Big piles of dead dwarves.
Big piles of salt.
I mean, that's my board. I'm going to take some field drab
Nice.
on my field. Is anyone else doing any hobby at the moment?
Yeah, I mean you're all
I know the
you're all
guys
tuning in. Are you painting while you're going?
I know the guys in Northern Ireland must be getting pretty tired. Pushing midnight for you guys right now.
Yeah. What is the time for us?
12:51.
Nice.
It's an interesting colour.
Yeah.
Field drab.
Got a bit of olive to it.
Yeah. Just bring up that field a little bit more. It's a bit dull.
Who's planning on coming to Big Wars?
Ah, the important question.
Oh yeah.
Really looking forward to that. It's going to
it's
be a lot of
gonna
fun.
be
Yeah, unfortunately Sloane missed out on Little Wars, so
Yeah.
work kicked
Work
your ass.
called. That's right. I was in Brisbane.
Where I'm from.
Sunny Brizzy.
Lockie was very sad you didn't meet up with him.
Was lucky.
No, Lockie was in Brisbane.
Oh,
But you were working.
I had 0 time.
You didn't even talk to me.
No. Like I had a couple of people who were like, "Oh, well, you're in Brisbane. Come say hi." You know, this is like when I was on Instagram. There's not a chance.
Not gonna happen. Dan's painting up 12 plastic mortal orcs. Just had the metal made to orders arrive. Oh
cool.
man, those medals are so nice. I've got a bunch of those still.
So good that they put them all into a set as well.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it was pricey, but
I kind of wish I had picked some up, but I've got a couple, and man, they are so nice. They're like some of the first sculpts that kind of drew me straight into that game.
right.
They're that old. Like, they came out when I was like 11 or something like that. I'm 30 now.
For me, I think it was probably Dwarf Rangers, eh?
Yeah?
Yeah, I think Dwarf Rangers, like when you first started to mention Lord of the Rings to me, and I kind of just sort of, I'll go online and check out what I can get. It was Dwarf Rangers. That was the set that I was like, what?
I want that, yeah.
Because like they weren't from the film, and like I just had like they just completely caught me off caught me off guard. I was like, dwarves, like without armor, and I've got like longbows and stuff with little cloaks and hoods. I was like, what? That's so fresh, so cool.
Chris, I wasn't planning to until I started watching. Now I'm painting bears and horses.
Nice.
Is it because this big bear inspired you to paint?
Rawr.
Clip that. We can make that into our MGM logo
God,
from
I'm
now
so-
on. Rawr. Big Walls will be awesome. Thanks, James. Looking forward to having you down, man. Brendan Hare at Failed Charge. I haven't decided which team I'm joining, but I'm looking forward to it. Oh, look, Brendan, we'll be happy to have you on either team, man. It's just going to be a good
more
event.
happy on mine. We'll be more happy on mine.
You probably will be more happy on Sloan's. I'm going to push my team real hard. We're going to have a lot of like training montages, listening to some 80s hair metal, like running upstairs and rolling dice once you get to the top.
I'm gonna
Push it to the limit.
I'm going to be handing out massages and lollies and encouraging words. So yeah,
That's just how it goes.
I'm
Nice.
I'm a good boy.
Glenn, exactly 12 hours behind, nearly 1 a.m. Oh shit, okay. Drinking bourbon and plotting lists before I sleep.
My kind of guy.
Yeah. I don't know, I've kind of gone off bourbon a bit now.
Oh really?
Yeah, I used to drink a lot of bourbon.
Oh yeah.
I've kind of got more into like spiced rums,
Well, I mean those are yummy too.
like Sailor Jerry's and stuff like that.
What's it called? The Kraken.
Kraken's good.
That's good.
Kraken and apple cider makes like a really nice little cocktail. It
Yep.
tastes like extremely alcoholic applesauce.
I saw an ad for Tennessee apple whiskey.
Did it have Matthew McConaughey in it? Tennessee
No.
apple whiskey. He's in everything.
All right.
Dan, I put the Warriors of Minas Tirith into Faramir's. Oh, okay. So he hasn't taken full ranges. Glenn, Brendan, would Gladriel and a line of armored elf archers prove difficult? Blinding light plus elf shooting.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, that would be a pretty hard counter to the ranger spam. Dan, I think the other hard counter would be one of those. What are they? The twirly whirlies. That twirly whirly is those things that like fuck up
Yeah.
arrows as they're going through.
I think Iron Hills just kind of fucks up everyone, right?
Pretty much.
Like high defense, high fight, spears, shields,
Anything else to do with?
a lot.
Dan at Fail Charge. I'm holding off on painting the MTOs until blue stuff arrives. Want to create so many molds of those beauties for conversions of orcs. Yeah, man, those the made to order orcs are so nice. There's my particular favorite one. I don't know where he's gone in my room. He's like crouched down a little bit, and it looks like he's wearing a bucket on his head. And I've never associated with an orc more in my life. He looks like I would look if I was on a field of battle, just like petrified and completely out of his element, but still there, trying his best.
Oh, I missed some on this paper.
Dan, release the Kraken, tooting that stuff now. Brendan, probably. At the points level, I take rangers. I don't see a lot of Galadriel, though. Yeah, that's fair. I think rangers are more effective at smaller points
We
levels.
don't see Galadriel at all, really. You're right.
We will. I think we'll see a lot of her at finals.
Did Liam end up doing his Lothlorien?
No.
Damn.
I've only painted one model from the Knight Faramir MTO set. Oh, the Knight of Ithilien. Oh no, yeah, that's the one. The one on the kind of armored horse. That's a cool model. Glenn drinking red stag cherry tones mixed with bourbon. I don't know that one. I do like cherry though. Although I'm a kind of massive fan of artificial cherry. Just like one of those things.
Oh, you know those like candied cherries?
Yeah, the glacé ones.
Love those.
Like I
know
love
everybody like thinks they're pretty trashy, but
I love Dr. Pepper and like Dr. Pepper cherry and stuff like that. So like artificial cherry is my jam.
yeah, that's good stuff.
That's where it's at. Although we live in Wellington and everyone here drinks craft beer and I'm not a beer drinker.
Are you not?
No.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Wellington is like the craft beer capital of the world now, I think. Like we've got more
Yeah.
breweries opening up here than anything. It's absurd how many microbreweries we've got, and yeah, I'm just not a beer drinker. I like Guinness, but not beer.
Like a good cocktail, though, don't we?
Yes, very much so. Especially if they're in tiki jars.
Oh, that was a good night.
We should make a fail charge cocktail.
Oh, Yeah.
It'll be the saltiest
Yeah,
cocktail.
I was gonna say,
Just-
9% salt.
just a margarita.
Yeah, it's a salty.
It's a margarita
salty
with some
brew.
beard hair in it. Beard hair garnish.
It would have Red Bull in it for you.
Okay, Glenn. Jim Beam is the brand. Oh, okay. Man, Jim Beam, I haven't thought about that stuff in a long time.
Jim Beam, eh?
Jim Beam.
Still good.
Brendan, if they have a big hero like Killable, and then I try to match it with Frodo. Yeah, the sneaky Frodo with the ring play is a real pain in the ass.
What's that?
Oh, because you know how he halves your fight value and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah.
Faramir suddenly becomes like a combat beast if you're throwing in a hero that reduces the fight value of whoever he's facing.
Yeah. Oh my god, do you know what I've been loving recently? Is people posting their pictures of their painted invisible models.
Oh my god. It cracks me up so much. Did anyone get any of those
Just finished Frodo.
the invisible ring bearers kits? They're really cool. I kind of like them.
Oh, they are really cool. Just cracks me up that people are posting pictures of their...
Finished models.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just a base.
It's just a base, and you're like, whoa, good base for it.
There's a really funny one on the Hobbit League, the British one, the other day, where it was Gollum on the rock, and everyone was saying, that's a really nice rock. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That's
why have you just put a rock on a base?
Like, I
And-
like that it was like self-reflective like that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Chris, Asahi be my jam. Man, Asahi, when I was in Japan, they own like 90% of the drinks market there, and
Yeah.
there's a drink there that called Zero Strong, which is like
Try.
it's a 9% alcohol tin, about this big. It's like rocket fuel with flavoring in
And
it.
you can buy them at 24/7s.
Yeah, they're at $2 each New Zealand, so what's that, like 50p kind of thing. And Christ almighty, there's no open carry laws in Japan, so you can just drink on the street. So my mate was getting absolutely just on the lash, drinking Zero Strongs on the train and stuff like that. And oh my god, it's just awful rocket fuel. Further north of Wellington, there are nice wine regions if you're not into beer. I can't drink wine. I actually have a medical condition that means I can't drink anything fermented, which is a pain in the ass. But so I can't do wine. I also can't do port, which I used to love.
Does that mean cider and stuff as well?
Yeah, cider I can't have either, so that's a real shame. But are you a wine drinker?
Yeah, red.
Red. Yeah.
Red though. No, I'm not a huge white fan. I don't drink it that often.
No, I don't know.
Like if it's not my go-to. It's just like if wine's on the menu, then I would pick a red.
Glenn, at some point I want to go do an all-mounted Knights of Minas Tirith with Faramir and Gandalf the White. Yeah, that would be an effective list, I think. The Knights of Minas Tirith are just such a budget, like, effective model with the lances. They're a really cool army. Like, I think they're like 13 points with a lance and heavy armor kind of thing.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
And like, if they get shot off, they get shield wall again. So they're still an effective model even if they come down.
Do they pick their weapon when they go off?
I think they just carry the sword because you have to drop the lance. Because they have swords and lances.
Yeah. So they don't get a bow.
Dan threw Frodo on his own with the ring into Gothmog and then put Sam and Faramir into a random orc, triggered the ability, and then surprise one-shot Gothmog. Yeah, the heroic combat chain using Sam is a really good little move to use.
Yeah.
That sounds like the perfect move to pull off, Dan. That's the kind of sneaky stuff I like doing. Glenn, at some point I would love to visit New Zealand, the shrine for SBG. If you come down here, man, give us a shout. We'd love to have a game with you. We're in Wellington, and we're generally...
If you're gonna come to New Zealand, you gotta come to.
You got to come to Wellington if you come to New Zealand. We've got the Weta Cave here, and if you head to the South Island, you generally come through here anyway. But give us a shout if you're out of here. We'd love to see you. We've got a lot of kind of sites from the films and stuff like that around here as well. Like I frequently go out to an area called Patangarua Pinnacles, which is where they film the Army of the Dead, like Donaharrow, and that's beautiful out there. And like we've got Rivendell about 5 minutes down the road from where I live. And Isengard and all that kind of stuff. Like it's pretty crazy.
Isengard in the car park.
Isengard's in like a car park. We've got like, but like the gardens where they walk through in the Fellowship is like one of the parks in Upper Hutt.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy how much we have near us. Like Helm's Deep is a quarry that's up on a hill. Like I can see from my window, kind of thing. It's pretty surreal to be that close to where everything is.
It's a shame that most of this stuff has kind of been like taken down. And,
Yeah.
like most of it's just like a sign that says Lord of the Rings was here.
This happened here. And occasionally you run into like some nerd wearing a cape being like, yeah, I know, bro. It's all good. I understand. Everyone's congratulating Dan for his awesome Frodo sneaky Sam play, which makes sense because that is exactly how that should be played. Brendan asks, has Sam been working well in Athelion? I've tried Frodo and love him in Athelion, but I've not played Sam yet. And Dan says the synergy he provides with Frodo is great. Yeah, it is that thing of it does make the list do a little bit more.
That's a 100-point combo, though.
It is a 100-point combo. We're gonna have to change our chat over.
Oh, yeah.
This is crapping out.
Alright. Back in a sec.
You go charge it. Sorry, we're just changing phones over so we can keep reading chat. Do you want to check on charge?
Yeah. My charger in my bag. Just working it.
What are we called again? Fail charge games?
It's not set to 1 on your shortcuts. Jeez, Tom.
Well, let's be fair. You admitted that you don't even watch our content. Cool. All right, we're back on chat now, so we can read what you guys are saying. This is a pretty Povo setup that we've got going. God, that was the most Australian I've sounded in a long time. Povo.
Yeah, no, I'm an awful content creator. I barely watch YouTube at all.
It's because you don't have the same vanity that I do, or immense self-loathing where I'm worried that everything I say is coming out wrong.
Oh no, I do. I definitely have that. I just don't have a lot of time for YouTube.
No, that's true. I mean, this is all I do. Glenn says, cheers, Tom. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, sweet. If you come down, let us know. Brendan, the next time there's a 500-point event, I'm hoping to run ranges with Sam and Gollum in the mix. Gollum is really cool as well.
Yeah.
I feel like you should have that old rule he used to have where you have to take a courage test and he would flip sides kind of thing.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
He was kind of like Thrain the Broken.
Yep.
Dan, the 100-point combo feels like $1 million when it works. Yeah, I can imagine. Just that one-off getting that sneaky little move and messing with people is always fun.
Yeah, I mean, Frodo's no slouch on his own usually anyway, right? With Sting and the ring.
Sting in the ring.
Sting in the...
Maybe don't say that.
I'm just going to keep that...
We've all been there. After a Vindaloo.
That little ring of fire.
You need to
yours is different. It's white.
Mine's white.
Oh, can't read it.
It is hard to read. I don't know why it's like that. What if I press that button there?
You throw it around the other two. No, I don't know what that is.
Oh no, it's just live chat. I don't know why mine's white. It's just doing its thing. Need to paint this little gate.
Okay. What did you use to dry brush? You use Carrick stuff.
I use Carrick and then Wraithbone.
Okay.
So still working on fields. They're kind of taking shape now. They're looking pretty cool. So these will get... Still really bad at knowing which way to put it onto camera.
I know, it's kind of like an interesting orientation.
They're looking a little bit more natural browns. I'm going to get some little kind of reed stuff and put them in here. I still want them to be... It's that balance of making terrain that's good looking and also playable. Because you need to be able to put models on it. You can't have things interrupted constantly. So it's just finding out what works. But this is corrugated cardboard that I've then plastered over the top of and put PVA on, so it's real sealed, but it's pretty solid now. And it looks pretty effective as kind of furrowed fields.
I think, once you put some flock and stuff all over it, it's just going to come together real nice.
And that's the plan. Running out of things to do, I'm going to have to start plastering some stuff.
Damn. Holding the sting whilst throwing a ring into the crack of doom.
I'm going to change.
What we're all thinking.
I want to put that on my Tinder profile.
We're going to change the settings on this.
Brendan, absolutely 400 points. I feel like I'm losing too many numbers to bring in Sam. Yeah, that's the big trade-off. I always do play more hero-centric lists though, because to me, Lord of the Rings is about the heroes. It's the hero's journey. But
I thought you were more of a troops kind of guy.
I like heroes. Older editions used to be troop heavy.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of heroes can do so much more with the variety of heroic actions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like Battle Company so much, because it is troop level people with hero qualities to them. And that's kind of cool. I need to buy the Ranger heroes. Already have 24 unpainted plastic Rangers plus Frodo and Sam, says Glenn. Yeah, the Ranger heroes are pretty easy to get hold of, thankfully. They were in the Battle Games magazine, so they're all over the place.
Faramir and Damdril.
Dandrill.
Manrod.
Manrod. I'll put that on my Tinder profile. Yeah, no, Rangers are a cool army.
Man, proud of that.
Proud of that. We're kind of churning through this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Tom, these are ready for a wash and a dry brush.
Johnson Wash.
Wow. Do you use Citadel washes, or do you have like a slightly bigger industrial stuff?
I use Citadel.
Do you know what you
use
use?
some contrast or something like that? Too dark, too pigment heavy?
Nah, I think what you need to do is get one of those like big army painter pots for like $20. Big bulk load of brown wash. You know, the ones that they just dip the models in?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
actually what it's
For the
for.
dip, yeah. Glenn, talk about classic limited models for everyone Sam Orgama. There's a couple of those up for sale at the moment on some Facebook pages. I contemplated getting some because I thought it'd be really funny to have one as an orc captain, like a tiny little orc captain. Have you seen those models? The Frodo and Sam and Orc armor?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really cool little
But
models.
they're for sale.
Yeah, there's some for sale at the moment. I was contemplating buying them.
Neat.
Brendan, Faramir is cool and necessary. Mandrill is surprisingly effective. Yeah, he's not as effective as Manrod. What's the common lower points value for this game? Is it 500 or lower? Chris, we play all kinds of different values. I ran a tournament recently called Little Wars, which was 350 points, and that was a lot of fun. I kind of like that points level. It makes every action you take like a pretty big deal.
Game's nice and quick.
Game's nice and quick. Yeah, it is good fun at that level. But most of the games, like at tournament level here, seem to be about 650 to 800, I would say.
Yeah. I prefer bigger myself.
Bigger is better. But I do enjoy the smaller games every once in a while. They're nice to be able to just churn out
Yeah.
content pretty quickly.
And like, I think just on like a social level, those small games are really fun.
Mm.
You know, because the stakes feel smaller as well.
Mm. Brendan, and Kyrian you get with Madrill also makes a cool Ithilion's Ministerial Captain. Yeah, I wish Kyrian had better rules. That model is awesome. It kind of deserves to be put on the board every once in a while, you know, because it's just such a cool little model. Little model. Isn't Faramir card 7 now due to the army special rule? Might 3, Will 3, and Fate 2, such a steal. Is he 3/2/2 or 3? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember. I haven't played with Faramir. Like, I love Faramir. One of my favourite characters in the book. But I kind of haven't really...
I'm sorry if you don't think that Boromir is the best character in the series, then
Boromir is awesome. I do like good Boromir.
what more relatable character?
Yeah, Faramir 3/2 at 80 points. That's very good. I do like his rule that goes with Denethor as well. That's good fun.
Faramir.
Yeah.
Like Daddy knows me.
Daddy senpai. Chris O'Cool, because my plan was to buy lots of small forces, open up battle companies and whatnot as well. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think this game lends itself to owning a lot of armies. I mean, look at Sloan and I, we have an obscene amount of stuff. We're trying to actually clear some out at the moment.
Buy our stuff.
Buy our stuff. But it is useful to have a number of lists, and it's a good way to get people into the game if you've got people around you who want to play, and you can just be like, I have this army already for you.
Yeah. I think that's how we're gonna have to get Ryan into it.
Yeah, I agree. Brendan, I'm really glad that we're seeing more smaller points tournaments. It's a great way to keep things fresh. Yeah, I agree, Brendan. I kind of like that way as well. You can get more games in a day, and it really brings in people that may not feel comfortable making the leap into a full-scale tournament. They can kind of just jump in and get involved with some smaller games, and like if you do make a mistake, the game's over in about 20 minutes anyway, so you can kind of fix it up from there.
Made a mistake. Go home and
cry.
Heavy breathe for 10 hours.
Yeah, man. Do you? Dan, not card 7 on the Rangers list, by the way. All right. He gets Woodland Creature instead. I think Faramir always had Woodland Creature. I think it's just his Rangers that didn't get it. But they get it in the Legendary Legion. Brendan Ithilien doesn't get the Minister of Courage bonus. Yeah, so they don't have the courage, which is a shame. Oh, my foot's asleep. Oh. Making progress. Do you want me to dry brush some of the hobbit holes?
Yeah, man. Get it if you want. Go nuts.
Or should we wash first?
I think you probably wash just to kind of like grab some detail in there.
Just do the little knobs brass or something like that.
I was gonna leave them as wood, but yeah, brass. Yeah, go for it. I mean, it's something that you can just do later.
Yeah, true.
I don't think it's something that you need like a whole lot of detail for.
It's actually coming out really nicely. I'm pretty stoked with how these are looking.
Yeah, that green one I think is my favourite thing.
Yeah, it's the iconic green door.
I think if any of them, that's back in.
I do really like the yellow one though.
Yeah, that actually looks pretty good.
Can you flick us that one?
The wood shed out front.
Yeah. So the one with the little yellow door, that's really fun. And the red door's cool as well. Pretty sure that's a Jimi Hendrix song, isn't it?
We've got. I feel like it's just imperative that as a New Zealand Middle Earth content creation team, we have to do the Shire.
Yes, I agree.
And we have to do it before anyone else.
Well, you know Declan's gonna build one, right?
The Shire?
Yeah.
I was implying Lockie.
Oh, okay. Lucky will get one eventually.
Yeah. Of course he will. Of course he will.
So I was mentioning before about the kind of stuff I use on the Hobbit holes to make them hard. It's this stuff here, multi-purpose filler. It's really, really good. I use it on all of my boards. I use it on pretty much everything.
Yeah, you got me into it.
It's good stuff. How am I going to apply
It's
this?
the good shit.
It's the good stuff, man.
Chris Brown's message retracted. What did you say?
What are you saying about us?
Just FYI, we don't retract these. That's an auto thing.
Yeah.
Will you be doing the opening of the Scouring from Hobbiton? We did talk about that, didn't we?
Yeah, we
Like that's exactly what we talked about.
we did talk about doing it from Hobbiton. Unfortunately, that is like a 7-hour drive for us.
Yeah.
It is
It would
quite
be
a way
weekend-
away.
It would be a weekend commitment.
It would be pretty cool. I would love to do it.
Do it from the little cafe there.
Yeah, from the Green Dragon.
On the little take the little 2x2 with us. I think that'd actually be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, we could sit down under the party tree.
We could have a pint.
As someone who has been to Hobbiton before, it is amazing. They
Yeah.
have really good pork pie.
Well, say no more.
We actually, we have talked about doing some stuff from location before.
Yeah, we're gonna do the Paths of the Dead, eh?
Yeah, we'll kind of get round to it eventually, I think.
Yeah.
What do you want?
What were you doing?
I'm
did
gonna
you
plaster
do?
this.
Did you do for anything on the ground of this, or just gonna?
I haven't. I'm just gonna flock the entire thing, basically.
Cool. Did you want like a bit of a brown undercoat just in case things show through?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Dryad bra. Where we run.
Glenn taught my brother how to play Lord of the Rings, and once he learnt how the ring worked on Frodo, he made a super cheesy list of 500 points. Isildur with Ring, Elrond, and Glorfindel. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, that is particularly brutal.
You don't need anything else,
You
really.
don't really need that much else. That is a very good list. Wow. What do you reckon the next Middle Earth gaming supplement will be after War in Rohan, of course? I really hope it's Last Alliance. Because they've kind of teased a few things from that before with like Anarian. And it would be a good opportunity to update some of the lines for like Rivendell and Numenor. And like maybe we could get the opportunity for like a massive new plastic Sauron. Like one to actually to scale kind of thing. And like with how dynamic models are getting now through Games Workshop, I think there's opportunity to make some really cool stuff.
I'm not sure that I'll do Last Alliance myself. I'm not sure if it's quite the seller as some of the other eras.
My only thought is because they have named specific heroes coming from it, that they're going to have to release them at some point, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, it is a big. I mean, it might not be Last Alliance. It might just be like a historical thing and could encompass a few different. I don't know.
A Fall of
just doesn't-
Arnor would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that could be pretty cool. War in the North is something that I think is on a lot of people's minds as well.
Mm.
Just because, we all want to know what the fuck the dwarves are up to.
I think there's a few different things you could do, but we'll see. I hope they're not just going to go back and just copy all of the previous supplement books they did. Because like the Scouring the Shy book that was released is awesome, but it's very similar to the old mid-2000s Scouring book, just with a few updated elements. So like, I don't want to just see Shadow and Flame again and
Well, they've
all that
kind
kind of stuff.
Just done it, right?
Yeah.
Like, the Pelennor Fields one was...
I mean, there was a Gondor and Flames before.
Exactly, yeah, that's what I was thinking, not Pelennor Fields. But probably really scratchy sounding.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Last Alliance will be awesome. Yeah.
Anarian needs a model. Yeah, he's got he's mentioned in Isildur's profile, so that's what I'm thinking.
Moria themed. I think you might be onto something with that one. Like that's a big part of the the movie franchise is the Moria scene, and like again you could do historical Moria with Balin and whatnot, and you can do modern Moria with the Fellowship. Maybe I'm just biased because I have both of those armies.
You just want to see it. I mean, that would work for us because we could build a Moria board pretty quick.
I have the Moria board.
Exactly.
I have pillars. I have Balin's Tomb.
In either Isildur's and Elendil's profiles, it mentions Anarian, so might get a model of him. That's from James. Yeah, we've got to get him at some point. He's a cool character. I would also like to see the squires of Isildur come in, like the people that were hanging around with him at the Gladden Fields. Brendan says, otherwise, the story of Moria. Or he gives the Shards of Narsil to... I can never remember his name. One of the Numenorians to ride to Rivendell with the Shards of Narsil.
His old buddy, old pal.
Old buddy, old pal.
Was that about Moria? I heard Moria.
Otherwise, the story of Moria from the fall of Durin through Thrall's attempt to reclaim it, then
Yeah,
Balin's expedition,
exactly.
and
It
finally
covers
the
so
Fellowship
much,
journey.
right?
Yeah, that would be a pretty cool book, actually. That would be really
You
cool.
could roll 3 of those old journey books into one.
Yeah, and it would be the first time that actually integrate some of the Hobbit stuff into one of those books, because like with the Army of Thrall reclamation, and then like Balin's reclamation afterwards, kind of thing.
Yeah. Balin's. Well, yeah, you've got several stages there because you've got when Balin goes back. And
Chris asks, does the Necromancer work well in game? Such a cool model. I've only seen the Necromancer once.
Brendan can talk to that.
Yeah, Brendan's the person to speak to in regards to that. He's in chat. He uses him a bit. I think he's a cool model, but I think Dol Guldur as a list needs to be kind of played as a mixed force. While the Nazgul are really cool, don't underestimate Hunter Orcs. They're excellent.
Yeah.
What do we got here? Brendan says that'd be cool and would cover a huge swath of ASBG. That would be for the Moria book. Crimson Halo, welcome to the chat, man. Well, Zorpazorp said that with the Emmy supplements that Games Workshop is doing, that major and minor supplement books. So after War in Roham, you might be getting another minor one. That's true.
Yeah.
What would you want as a minor book?
Well, what would a minor one be?
Shadow in the East was a pretty minor one.
That's true. Yeah,
So
Harad and
yeah,
stuff.
Harad and Khand and all that kind of thing. Easterlings. I would like to see more variety in the Easterlings.
Yeah, some named Easterlings.
Some named Easterlings. Just something a bit more going on there. And like the Khandish could use some
Oh,
anything.
imagine a plastic Khandish horseman, kind of like what they do with the cataphracts.
Yeah, just something. I don't know. I'd like to see some more minor things. Like, I really want to push towards playing more scenario stuff rather than just match play constantly, because scenario is where this game excels, I think.
God, that stuff is strong.
Sorry, dude. I think I'm just immune to it. What else we got? Brendan, Necromancer really misses the chill soul bomb from the old rules. Yeah, yeah, he does. Yeah.
Once the Amazon series comes out, there could be a lot more content to mine. Yeah, true.
So Chris says once the Amazon series comes out, there could be a lot more content to mine.
My concern with that is I don't know if Games Workshop will pick up the licensing for it.
Yeah, it is a licensing thing.
And the other thing that could be a concern is just how much of an artistic difference there is.
Absolutely.
Like
Aragorn could be a completely different person, eh?
I don't think it'd be in it.
What? Isn't
it's-
the story about Aragorn?
No, it's set in the Second Age, I think.
The show?
Yeah.
My bad. I thought it was about Aragorn at a younger age.
No, it's not like the old Indiana Jones show, the Young Indy.
I never even knew that was a thing.
Yeah. What do we got? Brendan, is that the one where the characters who put the ring on auto die? I think Chill Soul Bomb was like a kind of a area of effect, like damaging spell, kind of like Black Dart. Plus his many sons who get brutally murdered at the Gladden Fields trying to protect their father and King Isildur. Yeah, they'd be all cool models to introduce. Dan, Failed Church Games, exactly what Brendan said about the Moria timeline, however, written as point of view of the Balrog. That'd be pretty cool.
Balrog wakes up.
Good morning, little goblins.
Am I going and pay Moria today?
I'd like to see some Zurich Sigil terrain. That'd be pretty sweet.
Gonna get you a drink of water, Tom. You want?
No, can you put the kettle on for me, please? And I'll run down in a second. Amazon series, I'm going to withhold my judgment. Yeah, I'm with you, Glenn. I'm not sure how it's going to go. I know they've got how doing the art for it, so hopefully it'll have a at least a cool kind of art style. But the guys at Weta designed such an amazing world. Chris, they should do the Blue Wizards, the Alatar and Palando. That'd be pretty cool. The story of the Istari and how they form is really fascinating. I have so much sympathy for Saruman having to put up with what he does. Brendan, Chris in the Hobbit rulebook channel, Chill Soul dealt strength 5 hits to models within 3 of the target. Yeah, so it's like an area of effect spell. Chris Brown, I thought Series 1 was going to be younger Aragon. I'm not sure. I thought it was going to be just Second Age. But maybe you're right, I'm not really sure. Younger Aragon feels kind of weird to me. But we'll see how we go. I know they've cast a few people so far. They've got that Will Pult, I think his name is, who's a good actor. It kind of looks like Elrond to me, that guy. Yeah, James, Chris, that was just a rumor ages ago. The official Lord of the Ring Amazon Twitter has announced its Second Age, even with a new map with Numenor. Okay, so there we go. Yeah. And like the story of Numenor is fascinating and like one of my favorite parts of the kind of lore. The amount of stuff that goes on there is amazing. And like if they do it properly, it'll be finally retribution for Isildur, who's actually quite an interesting and like heroic character. Like stealing the apples off the or stealing the fruit off the white tree, and like he's not just such a one-dimensional destroy the ring no guy, you know.
Who's?
Isildur.
Like, such a boring character.
But he's interesting.
Okay.
Triggered. Really sympathy for Saruman, Tom. I'm an evil player, man. But like, if you think about it, Saruman got lumped with all of these guys he didn't really want to deal with. He got given an idiot in Radagast. Alatar and Palando were morons, and like Gandalf didn't want to go with him originally. They kind of had to keep forcing Gandalf to be around. And,
Yeah, no, I like Saruman's history.
Saruman's
He's
amazing.
a really interesting character.
and like, there's nothing more interesting in a narrative for me than the creation of a villain.
Yeah,
Like
complex past.
the fall of a good guy to a villain is way more fascinating than
Yeah.
like rags to riches story, or like loser does good. Sorry, is this killing
Yeah.
you?
What's that?
Is this killing you?
What's that?
The stuff.
No, I think I just said something on my notes. Yeah, totally. And villains are usually more interesting than like heroes anyway.
Oh, 100%. And Christopher Lee
Best
just-
cast. The best cast character in the entire movie.
embodies everything that Saruman should be.
A new power rises!
Beautiful. Got that. That can be with the MGM logo that we're doing. Do you mind keep doing this for me?
Yeah,
You do mind?
that one.
Just slather it on and move it around. I'm just going to make a cup of tea. We're back in a few minutes, guys. I'm just going to get a cup of tea. Does anyone want anything?
No, good, thanks, Tom. You guys? God, this stuff stinks. Oh, it's honestly, it's like poison air. What is he? How does he do it? Ooh. Get some more, slap it on, make a song, and it feels this painful. It's good news. Some different content will be good. Yeah. And it's coming to New Zealand, which is also awesome. So if you've got any desire to be like an extra, you'll get that chance. I think originally it was going to be in Scotland or something. So it's cool to have it come home. All New Zealanders are really greedy about like where Lord of the Rings belongs. We're all like, no, it must be here. Oh, James wants a cuppa. Oh, tell Tom. Hey, Tom. Yeah, James wants a cuppa. Cheers, mate. Are you painting with Gladden Fields water? I'm not sure what that means. Tom's so much better at references than me. Tom watches like everything. He knows everything. Every day he's like, oh, have you seen this? Oh, have you seen this? Oh, have you seen this? Do you watch this? Sends me links to things. Oh, hey, we're in this. Hey, we should watch this. I can't keep up. But I always have like a paintbrush in my hand. Oh, Brendan's off. See you, Brendan. Thanks for joining in, man. Enjoy your Sunday. Sure, we'll chat again soon. Time to grow out my beard again to be an extra. Why would you ever shave it off in the first place? Jeepers. Nah, that's fair. Every time I shave it, though, I have, like, the worst regret. The worst regret. The satisfaction of shaving lasts about a minute, and then I'm like, why did I do this? Why did I do it? I look 12. I'm 27 now, and the beard adds like 20 years. I don't think I'll ever do it again. He's a brilliant villain and a great character, just no sympathy. Fair enough. Though I think Gandalf is rather like a manipulative chess player, sending Frodo to horrible death and torture. Oh, absolutely. Gandalf, I think, gets a little bit like put on a pedestal a bit much. But yeah, he definitely has an agenda, eh? Like, kind of just using mortals to do good. Oh, Brendan's looking forward to more streams. He shut off.
Oh, okay.
He's shooting off.
See you later, Brendan.
Oh, Tom, that pizza smells good.
Do you want some?
I might have a slice.
Go for it.
Eat pizza on the stream now, make everyone jealous. Oh, hot.
Attacked with an anchovy. What are we talking about? Chris, time to grow out my beard again to be an extra. He's a brilliant villain.
Water. What is this stream?
He's a brilliant villain and a great character, just no sympathy, though. I think Gandalf is rather like a minute. Oh, have you read that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Chris said it's time to grow his beard out again.
You're gonna be an extra?
But I just told him off for ever shaving it off.
I always regret it.
You do, right? You do. Look forward to some more streams. Oh, good. Yeah. I cut off my Jesus length hair and longer beard than yours like 2 months ago. Legit took like 3 double takes and I already recognized myself. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Because like, it's almost like you haven't seen yourself in years.
Yeah. Like,
you know, like you're looking at a different person.
Like I shaved off all of mine recently, which is why I'm a skinhead at the moment. it takes you by surprise. And God, I had to do it on the coldest day in Wellington and like for fucking ever, so my
You
head was
noticed it, eh?
freezing. What else we got? Glenn, a lot like Dumbledore and Harry Potter. Yeah, I've never understood the Dumbledore like fascination. It's the same thing with like people idolizing Snape and stuff like that. They're kind of very, very flawed characters. Although in saying that, Jude Law as Dumbledore, daddy door. Crimson Halo, any plans to grow the channel? That's what we're trying to do with this kind of stuff, Crimson Halo. We're trying to kind of produce more content for everybody. We've actually just opened up a Patreon. Fishbones. We've opened up a Patreon now to try and get some support so we can actually produce better content going forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we've got a lot of plans going forward with what we want to do.
Absolutely.
And we're getting...
Very ambitious people.
We are ambitious people, and like it's always nice getting feedback from overseas and from people who kind of watch our content and know what they want to do in future or what they want to see in future.
Yeah, totally. So keep that stuff up.
Yeah, so if there's anything you guys want to see, let us know. Like we'll do our best to try and accommodate that and get on with it.
Yeah.
You know.
So like we've talked about, like the big things for us is battle companies and narrative stuff. And
Yep.
so Tom's away on holiday, well-deserved holiday. Going to be away for what is it?
3 weeks.
3. Is it only 3?
3 and a
Oh.
bit weeks. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought it was 5. And I was really sad. So yeah, Tom's away for 3 weeks. Well deserved, much needed. He's gonna, catch some breath. But then yeah, when Tom gets back, we're gonna sink our teeth into some narrative battle company stuff.
Yep.
Probably get some people on the show for that. Which would be great. Dripping plaster on me.
It's water based. You can just get rid of it.
Oh, cool. There's a bit on the book there if you want to pick that up. So yeah, like those are our priorities in the foreseeable future. Like we also said, more time is something that we want to do. Necromunda is something we want to do.
Just like narrative stuff.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about that sort of stuff? Do you want to watch more time? Is that the sort of thing that you're interested in, or are you just here for Middle Earth, or you want to see us having fun with some of the systems?
Because like a lot of the comments that we've received from people so far have been 99% of the time they just want to see us act like dickheads and they enjoy us like bantering about stupid shit rather than the game itself. So
yeah, I mean, I don't think that what we do is like game specific, right? I think that it's what we can do, because I mean everybody's playing Middle Earth, right? It's us playing Middle Earth.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Like yeah, more time, Necromunda, those sorts of narratively driven things, and more time for me is a cool little blend. Oh, thanks, man. As a cool blend of my love for Warhammer Fantasy and
storytelling,
and then like small scale stuff.
We're also looking at doing some more collaborative stuff with some other channels in future. Like we've got a really good relationship with Lockie from Zorpazorp. And like we really enjoy doing our list reviews and stuff with him, and there's been talks of kind of doing some more like podcasty kind of stuff.
Yeah. And he's coming over to New Zealand for the finals, right?
Yeah, so we're going to do some collaborations with Lockie coming up, which will be really cool. Glenn says, just keep up the great work. Thanks, Glenn. Really appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for kind of like tooting our horn to the international community as well. I see you popping up every once in a while in the foreign channels, and we really appreciate it. Crimson Halo, do you guys ever come up to Auckland for events?
Ooh, Auckland. Gross.
We haven't yet. I don't think there's been really an event on this year in Auckland. Like there was the Battle Companies one.
Hamilton, right?
It's just in Hamilton, like Josiah looking after it in Hamilton.
I'm not against Auckland. I go there for work every now and then, and I don't mind it.
I've never been.
Oh really? Well, there you go. It's very different to Wellington.
Like when I arrived in New Zealand the first time, it was like a T intersection when you leave the airport. It's like Auckland to the left, rest of New Zealand to the right. Pretty easy choice.
Yeah, I just like, it's kind of mind-boggling for me from Wellington when you go to Auckland, and it's like, oh yeah, it takes 20 hours to drive from one side to the other, and you're like, what?
Okay, cool.
But no, like, if there was something in Auckland that we were invited to, I think we'd definitely put it on the calendar. Eh?
Like we like events, but like Sloan and I have made a bit of a conscious decision to step back from competitive tournament play. I think it kind of is detrimental to both of our mental well-beings and stuff like that, and it's just not our focus at the moment. Like I'm really enjoying hosting tournaments, I'm really enjoying the community angle, so I'm more inclined to kind of proceed with that. But like we'll still turn up to events and well, I'll turn up to events and roll dice. I'm not sure how Sloan feels, but like I enjoy going to things like.
Oh, I'm planning on going to a few. It's just like I'm just trying to remove the pressure of tournaments.
We're not going to win.
No.
We just want to have fun and
Yeah.
like, because the New Zealand community is small, it is just like catching up with family sometimes. So
Yeah.
that's the reason you do it. Like,
It's the like the post event stuff. It's
Yeah.
the in between game stuff. Like that's the cool shit.
Like-
Rolling the dice is fun.
but that's not.
But
the
if you're
point of
but if you're rolling the dice to win and the dice don't go your way, then that's like a recipe for disaster.
it. Yeah, and like we miss the Hamilton folk. Like
Mm.
James up in Hamilton, very good friend of the show. Like I'm trying to convince him to move to Wellington.
Who's that?
James Carver,
Oh yeah, James. What are you doing, mate? Come down here.
come live with me.
You honestly would find James on your couch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so
Donkey Kong 0303. Thanks for joining the chat.
I really like the battle reports and the tournament reviews podcasts. Awesome. Well, there's going to be heaps of that.
Yeah. If there's one thing we like doing, it's talking.
Mm. Yeah.
Whether we know what about, we just talk.
Yeah, I mean, I can talk bollocks for
A long time.
however long we need.
I mean, we've been recording this for 2.5 hours, so
Oh
we
my
could
God.
we could talk shit for a long time.
Thanks to everyone who's stuck around.
Yeah.
Definitely Mordheim and Battle Company sound good. Awesome.
Thanks, Glenn.
Well,
You'll enjoy what's coming.
so far that's 100% success rate.
So with the battle companies as well, I can't remember if we've mentioned it. It will be a narrative campaign, so I'm actually writing a story for the battle companies to kind
Yeah.
of proceed along. So I'm drawing up a network, like a matrix of like how the campaign will work.
Yeah, way more satisfying than just kind of playing the odd game here and there.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, my dude leveled up and he's got himself a new piece of gear, and this
Yeah.
dude's lost an eye, and all those sorts of things make
Yeah,
it way
so
more fun. So
This will be very much like a kind of like a Telltale game where it's like people will remember certain things that you do. Like if you opt to protect this, but like kind of sabotage this, it'll like change the events going forward.
and you know, the NPC stuff is going to be really cool, and
Yeah,
like that's how I'm planning on doing the Mordheim stuff as well. Is like I'll be probably taking the role of
Game master
the
kind of
environment,
Mm.
you know. So I'll play like the NPCs, and I'll play like the ghouls and the robbers and all of the people that you encounter on the streets and in the woods around and whatnot. So yeah, I think that stuff's going to be really fun. Should be good to watch as well.
yeah. Hopefully, that's
Yeah.
the main aim.
Have a few more voices in the thing as well. You know, we'll get a couple other people around and see some fresh faces.
Yeah, highlight some of the community we've got around here.
Absolutely.
Chris Brown, I live in Auckland and can confirm, ooh, gross. I mean, we're Wellington. We're kind of like, we have to think that regardless of whether we like
Like, if
Auckland
you
or
can
not.
see the view that we've got right now, I think everybody would say the same. Like in front of me is a couple of rooftops, sure, but like beyond that is just a bunch of mountains,
Beautiful
skies,
mountains
and some
and-
clouds,
yeah.
and you know.
In saying that, yesterday was torrential sideways rain and wind and horribles.
Wellington on a good day.
Dan, I'm happy to come and watch any of your content. Started off with an early bat rep and was like, "Soul, these guys are right up my street to watch." Oh, thanks, Dan. That's really kind of you to say, man. We didn't really know what we were doing with the first few videos, but I'm glad people are enjoying it and getting on board and
Yeah.
like our shtick.
Ah, shit.
Our shtick.
Couple of schmucks with some shit.
Schmuck and shtick.
I think it would be awesome. I think what would be awesome is if we talk about different armies, strengths and weaknesses and tactics. Bringing your personalities would be enjoyable. Cool, we can do some review stuff like that.
100%.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing we want to do with Lockie. Sorry, I'm very rude talking while eating. We do have plans to kind of shoot some stuff with Lockie in regards to
Yeah.
like an ongoing podcast campaign. We don't really know what the hell it's going to be
Yeah, I
about.
mean, like Green Dragon really good, but
Mm.
like they're not awfully regular sometimes, and so you know, filling the gaps of the content.
They also fill the competitive niche a lot more than we do.
Yeah.
Like those guys are all very, very good players.
Oh man, I keep seeing that Smaug and going, oh, I have to paint that.
Yeah.
D&D SBG. That'd be really, wouldn't it?
That would be like that Warlords of. What's the one that Warlord Games have made? Where it's like you can take any generic fantasy army into it?
I don't know. Kind of sounds like Frostgrave though, right?
A little bit.
Yeah. Warhammer Fantasy. We could just do what's the Warhammer Quest?
Hmm.
It's kind of like that, right?
Donkey Kong 0303, army reviews and tactics talks would be nice.
Reviews, tactics, talks would be nice. Cool. Isengard, great.
Lake Town, not that great. Thank you for tuning in. No, I to those that know me well know that I live and breathe this game. Like, all I do is talk about it, and when I'm at work, all I do is read about it. So I'm a much better kind of
very well versed.
yeah, I know what I'm doing. It's just kind of applying that in a practical sense that's sometimes a bit difficult. But yeah, we'll talk about it. And like between the two of us and with some like guests and stuff like that, we'll be able to cover most things. Glenn, do you want to read that one?
Yeah, to be honest, last time I met an ultra competitive player in a tourney, I just said, if winning means that much to you, count as games as a win. I'm here for fun. Want to head to the bar? Yeah.
That's a good attitude to have.
Totally. I went at an Age of Sigmar tournament I went to last time. There was a game like that where he saw my army and in his mind just went, I can't beat it, so I'm just going to slow play and go for a draw. Not slow play, just like kind of
Anti-play.
anti-play basically, just kind of moved his stuff away from mine and I moved forward, he moved away, and after 5 turns nothing had happened and it ended up in a draw. And you know, like that's one of those scenarios where we could have said that, you could have just said that at the start, like if you're not going to play me, we don't need to waste all this time, let's just go have fun beer, mate.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's always
It does happen. And that's kind of like why tournaments aren't real big for us anymore, because we're not like that. Although sometimes when Slim and I play in tournaments, we do lose who we are a little bit and do become a bit competitive and salty. And
yeah, I can't help myself but get, you know, latched onto the idea of victory, but
Yeah.
like it's just not good.
it's not what you want to be.
Yeah.
Chris Brown, Wellington is my hometown, so we totally live there again. Yeah, Wellington's great.
Yeah, okay, come down.
Yeah.
Come back. Come on. Come on.
Come home.
Come on, Chris.
Glenn, how about some army showcases showing off your painted armies, how you run them in tourneys, and general reasons why you like the faction, e.g. Tom's Isengard or Slime's Dwarves? That's a really good idea. We could do some, like, why we like this faction kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. Yeah, we might do that, Glenn. We'll do that when we get back from, well, when I get back from Argentina, you're not coming
Yeah.
with me.
I wish.
I wish.
I haven't been on holiday in 2011.
What is holiday? What is
I got an email from work the other day saying, would you like to take a holiday? Got a lot of leave. I was like,
Crimson Halo.
How do you get guests to take part? Well, if you're interested, click on the message. If you're in town, we'll organise a time and it suits everybody. If you want to bring an army, bring an army. If you want to borrow one of ours,
Borrow
it's
one
cool
of
too.
those?
And yeah, it's just timing, you know, when everybody's around. But
I mean, most importantly, it's me around because it's my house.
yes, Tom's house,
Yeah.
most of Tom's equipment. So,
But you do need Sloane here as well because Sloane's the fun one.
oh, am I?
Yeah.
I just got the rosier cheeks.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, like we get a lot of our local community on. Like we would like more people to come on, but unfortunately, it's like finding time, and it does take up a lot of our day. Sometimes, like even just recording
It can do. And
like
then,
a short video can take up a long
and
time.
then Tom has to edit it
Yeah.
and stuff, and so yeah, don't underestimate how much effort goes into this sort of thing. But it is just about time. We're
Mm.
happy to have anybody on if you've
If you want to come roll dice, roll dice.
come roll dice and spin some yarns,
Mm.
meet new people. That'd be cool. So yeah, look at the message.
Just gonna have my tea.
Oh yeah, cool. Sorry, my D&D SPG, it sounded a bit like what you were describing for Battle Companies, a D&D style shaped story with Battle Companies. Yeah, that's, I think, basically what we're planning on doing. So, he loves writing stories, he loves, narrative play, and so he's really keen on whipping up a map, or, using the Middle-earth map and plotting out a little storyline. I think we're thinking starting somewhere around the Shire, getting kind of like a Thillian sort of stuff going on, or moving in that sort of trajectory. So he is planning a big story like that, and using our companies to kind of roll through that. And so we've got a couple of people who have expressed some interest in wanting to get part of it. But yeah, it's going to be like my dwarves rock up, and part of what they need to do is seek shelter at a ruin for the night, but they get ambushed half the way, or they get, pinned down in the middle of the night, those sorts of things. And so there's going to be like an overall objective for the story, and then, obstacles along the way. And, we're thinking of, introducing cool things, like a hero might come and join them for a scenario. So, like an elf a named elf might come and join in for the day, and that elf might help them accomplish a certain goal for that scenario. And yeah, so it will be very much like a D&D story, just with Battle Company's mechanics and models.
Is this the Battle Companies thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty inspired by the War in the North computer game.
Yep.
So it'll be kind of set in Oregon and
Oh yeah.
be all that kind of stuff. It'll be
Yeah,
fun.
I see. We also think of starting in the Shire as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we're putting so much work into the Shire board and stuff like that, it'd be a shame not to use it
Totally.
to its max.
Uh,
And how about apocalyptic massive Middle Earth battles? Hundreds of models on the board, forego warbands and just have massive battles for the lols, of course. Well, if we can get our hands on that many models.
yeah, I think you'd need some movement trays for that kind of thing.
Do you guys have 8 hours of your day to watch a video?
I mean, currently a lot of these people have 2 hours and 40 to watch a video because
That's
that's how long
true,
we've
it's
been going for.
Yeah. Well, obviously, from Warhammer Fantasy, I love those sorts of things. I'm not sure. Like, I mean, you'd have to use War of the Ring rules, right? Because
Yeah, you
like
have
the
to do
regular rules would not work. You'd be there all day. Like, oh, this guy fights that dude. This guy fights that dude. Moving models individually and stuff. It would be epic, but I just don't know if it would work.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different things I would love to do for the channel that I've wanted to do since I was a kid playing this game. Like, there was a system that ran a long time ago called Fantasy Fellowship, where you got 700 points and you got to build your fellowship up and you take them through the narrative campaign and you try and see how far you can get, kind of thing. So I'd like to do that, but that's kind of a long way away from happening. Glenn says, Crimson, that's like an Xmas special. Yeah, apocalyptic massive Middle-earth battle game would be a slog, I think. But it would be good fun. Definitely.
I think, you know, like, we'd go on, like, Rent Out of Space. We'd bring, like, three people per side.
Yeah.
Have, like, a big, like, 8x4 board or something like that. And
We'd have to get Declan to build us a board for it.
commission him in FCG dollars. By the way, I think the thing I'd be most interested in seeing is the stuff that you guys are most interested in showing, as long as you enjoy it. Well,
Thanks, Dan.
Awesome.
That's a nice thing to say.
perfect for us.
Yeah, that works for us. We're going to show you what we want to show you regardless, but we do want to show what people want to see as well.
Yeah. I mean, the more time thing is it's obviously a bit of a step away from our usual content, and if everybody was just like, I don't care about this, then we would probably think twice about wasting everybody's time with it and wasting our own time if you guys and we just keep it to something that we do ourselves. But we're going to be doing it anyway, so if we want to record it and show you guys and you guys are going to love it, then hell yeah, we'll do that.
Hell yeah, we'll do that.
Have you thought about doing an alternative history Lord of the Rings? So maybe Gimli dies and don't. So maybe, or Boromir doesn't die. Yes. So transfers to using the White Tower profile.
That ties into the Fantasy Fellowship thing, actually.
Yeah,
so
that's
in
right.
the old system it had like a matrix that you'd run through. So like you'd have to have a ring bearer.
There we go, Fantasy Fellowship.
Yeah, sounds like a challenge.
Yeah.
You'd have to have a ring bearer and a companion, and there was 3 ring bearers you could choose from. You could choose Frodo, who would have to take Sam. You could take Bilbo, who would have to take Gandalf, or you could take Isildur, who would have to take Elrond. And then you'd need to fill like party number 3 and 4, which is Merry and Pippin. So in my one, I would take 2 Dunedain or 2 Rangers of the North, and that means in any scenario where Pippin or Merry appears, those Rangers would appear. And like little things would happen, like if X dies at a certain point, they don't carry across into the next scenario and stuff like that. But like it means that if Boromir does survive Amon Hen, he would then be at Helm's Deep with the 3 hunters kind of thing. Really cool. I would love to try it.
Fantasy Fellowship.
Fantasy Fellowship.
Really cool.
And like it would be interesting to try it together, come up with our own fellowships. Like you might send, maybe Gondor didn't send a representative man, Éomer came instead kind of thing. So he might take that position. Or
Yeah.
like I think originally Glorfindel was meant to go with the Fellowship.
Yeah.
I think narratively, I can't really remember. It's been so fucking long since I've read the
I think
books.
Elrond did have plans to send him with them, right?
Yeah, he's going to send Glorfindel with them, like, and maybe you could try that. Little things like that.
Busted, but
Well, yeah. I mean, you could take him as opposed to Aragorn. Like Aragorn, you've done your job. You got them to Rivendell.
Yeah,
now we're
that's
going to
true.
give him to an elf lord.
as if they wouldn't send Aragorn.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if you could do like a roulette fellowship, so you don't get a chance to power game it. Like apply each roll to a d6,
That'd be cool.
That'd be quite cool.
You could try it with
End up having like Treebeard instead of Gandalf or something, and
well, if you did like a Bilbo with Gandalf Fantasy Fellowship, you could then send people who are still survived like after the Hobbits. You could send Dwalin,
yeah,
Bard,
yeah,
Tariel kind of thing. Like you could send all these like Hobbit level heroes.
a Hobbit Fellowship, yeah.
Glyn sent his through Glorfindel, Radagast, Faramir, Theodred, Haldir, plus the 4 hobbits. That sounds pretty fun.
Yeah.
That sounds like a cool list. And like the just coming up with ideas for them, like maybe as opposed to Legolas and Gimli, Elladan and Elrohir go.
Mm.
Like
Yeah, a little duet.
yeah, little kind of just little fun things.
Mm-hmm.
Crimson Halo. This reminds me that the old Battle Games Middle Earth magazine has some great campaigns in it, such as the Moria campaign. Maybe something like that could be done on the channel.
Mm.
We've talked about the reclamation of Moria before.
Because they kind of have everything for it.
Yeah. We might actually do that once all your goblins are painted up. We might go through.
I think I need like 100 of them.
Yeah. The issue is a lot of those campaign scenarios were written for the previous edition, where like heroes weren't as juiced and everything like that. So
Yeah.
we could play them. We just have to be very conscious of the fact that they might be a blowout in certain scenarios, where like heroes have become significantly more powerful now or less powerful.
I mean, because it's narrative, you're not worried about the outcome, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Chris Brown, the Fantasy Fellowship Alternate History is similar to the Battle for Middle-earth PC Good campaign, where you end up with all of the starting Fellowship minus Sam and Frodo at Helm's Deep. Yeah, that's right. That does happen in that game. I haven't played that game in a long time. Did you play that one? It's like an RTS game, like what do you call it? Age of Empires.
What's it called?
Battle for Middle-earth.
Oh yeah, people are still playing that on YouTube.
I love that game. It's a great game.
Yeah, that was a good game. I remember going to the internet cafe and playing that for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours because my PC at home couldn't run it.
But I think it'd
Yeah.
be cool. We should put some suggestions out there for people to write in their fantasy fellowships. Aragorn's Fellowship. Aragorn, Halbrand, Elladan, Elrohir, and Gandalf.
Oof.
Is he going to take his missus along with him? Is he going to take Arwen or on a road trip?
Nah, there'll be too many domestics.
Oh, that's very true. But yeah, it'd be cool. I think.
Mum and Dad fighting in the car.
I just want to put. You could also do like an evil one as well, an evil fellowship. I don't know how that would work, but
Ooh.
it'd be interesting.
Instead of Aragorn, you've got
Glorfindel,
I was thinking
the fat orc,
yeah, I was thinking the ugly orc. What's his name?
Goblin King,
No, the one from Mordor. What's his name?
the ugly orc from Mordor,
You know the ugly orc from Mordor.
Gorbag,
No.
the Gothmog.
Gothmog.
Right.
Yes. He's the ugly. Come on, he's the ugly.
I think he's beautiful in his own way. I'm an evil player. Plus Elrond and Arwen. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds fun. That sounds like a family picnic.
There's a mum and dad and
Mum, dad. Oh no, what's her
auntie
name?
and uncle.
What's his mum's name?
Elrond.
No, Arwen's mum,
I don't know.
Elrond's wife, the one that gets taken by orcs.
I don't know. I don't know that.
Chris, take Aragorn, Arwen, and Eowyn. Yeah, that would be interesting. Crimson Halo.
Third wheel.
You can hold the bags.
Oh.
You can hold the video camera.
Poor Aragorn.
Crimson Halo, which models are you hoping come back on the range? I myself am really annoyed that I missed out on the damn Morgul Stalkers that was made to order. I don't know. I don't
When
know.
it comes back to range.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I'd like back in range. I mean, everything I want is kind of around.
Thranduil, on foot.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of those Hobbit era stuff that are just cool that aren't around.
Yeah.
Like, you can't buy Bard's Kids or anything like that.
Yeah, you can. They're on Forge World.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay, I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Um,
But, yeah, there's a lot of models that, God, I can't even remember half of them now, but there's a lot of, like, rarer metal models. Like, I really wish Mordor Uruk-hai would come back. Like, I love Mordor Uruk-hai. I've only got about 6 of them, and I would love to have more of them for my Cirith Ungol army. Like, it's hard to call it a Cirith Ungol army if I've only got 6 Mordor Uruk-hai in it, you know?
yeah. It's kind of interesting that they were Uruk-hai.
Yeah, I'd just like more of them. They're really cool models, and
They're just kind of like big orcs, aren't they?
big orcs.
Were they technically Uruk-hai? Because Uruk-hai were the ones that Saruman made, right?
I think Uruk was just an interchangeable word for orc.
Was it?
Yeah.
But Uruk-hai.
Were the
Saruman's.
Saruman's ones, yeah. So they're more Uruks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what what models I would like back. Good question though.
There's lots of cool Moria stuff that isn't around, like Prowlers and Marauders. You know, those like those special shamans, the ones with the one that does the spider stuff.
Ashrak and
yeah, those
the
are
other
pretty
one.
cool.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome if they did a command that had like those in it. Yeah, Moria's got a lot of stuff. Grimbold would be nice.
Grimbold would be nice to have back. Yeah, there's a few different things. Like they're slowly trickling it out, but like for a long time when I was looking at collecting Numenor, they didn't have any of the spearmen or bowmen available, and that was a pain in the ass. I mean, they're out now, but at the time, it's a nightmare.
Celebrian.
Ah, that's Owen's mum. Yeah.
I feel like, is it Celebrian? Is it Celebrian?
Celebrian. That sounds more elven than Celebrian.
It's Salad Brian.
Salad Brian. Chris Brown, the Hobbit White Council kit would be nice. Celeborn and armor. Yeah, that's true.
What was the Hobbit White Council kit?
They're the Vanquishers of the Necromancer.
Oh, Vanquishers of the Necromancer.
It only came with 3 of them. It came with the cool, like, flowy Saruman, who's got the most ridiculous join line in the world through his hair.
My favourite Saruman. Though.
Very cool Saruman. Although the new plastic one looks
Nick's tried to sell it to me a couple
fucking
of times.
awesome.
The new plastic one will be great. Yeah, Celeborn and armor. For sure.
Saruman
got
gets
the
one.
under Shagrag Dibbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Are you talking about the Shagrat with the shield? Because I've never really got behind that model. The kind of big beefcake Shagrat one where he looks like he's wearing a dress.
Oh, the model itself?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really remember what it looks like.
I like the captain level one with the mithril shirt. Crimson Halo Mortal Urukai probably going to come back in a 6-pack at $65. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Moria Black Shield, love. For show.
Black Shields are cool.
For show. There's like it's like a whole different like factions, like Moria Black Shields, Moria Black Shield with Captain, Moria Black Shield drum, you know, the one with the drum on the back.
Moria Black Shield Shaman with Wither.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
Oh, that's a nice Anduril you've got there. Fucking Wither, gone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Anduril.
Yeah. Yeah, like the Black Shields are like a different
Cool.
faction altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Actually, the dragon coming back would be nice as well.
The dragon, the cave drake.
Cave Drake. I think Cave Drake has just come back, hasn't it?
Don't know.
I think it came back with Radagast and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, is Radagast like permanently on the store now?
Yep.
Ah, cool.
And so is Gandalf and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, Gandalf with the cart.
Yeah, Gandalf with the cart.
Yeah, that's a cool little kit.
We're probably going to jump off in about maybe 8 minutes. That take us nicely to 3 hours of recording.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
So yeah, if you have any more questions, flick them through now, guys, because we're going to jump off in about 10. I thought you were starting with the Game of Thrones theme for a second, and just went with like no tone. It was like dun 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 dun. Shagrat with shield, absolute beast. Shagrat is amazing, one of my favorite characters to use in this game. But for some reason, that kind of model where he's standing like this came from that era of Lord of the Rings models where everyone was just standing like that, and it was very kind of like 90s Games Workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan, but if you love
What's
it,
it?
that's cool. I love some
That-
ugly models, that's for
That
sure.
classic RPG game with minis, where all of the models are like that.
Hero Quest.
Hero Quest and everybody's
Yeah,
like,
everyone's standing like that. The old Fellowship kit, not the so looking Minds of Moria one.
yeah, I'm not a fan of the Moria ones myself either.
Even you made them look fucking pretty though, but that's hardly surprising.
That's-
You had to work for it.
Yeah, they're just they're all pretty one-dimensional, eh? Like, actually no, that's wrong. They're all pretty cool. They're just not my favorite.
The old metal kit
I
was
really
one of the
dislike the Gimli.
was
The
one of the
Gimli
first
is
boxes
the ugliest Gimli of them all.
in the. Oh yeah,
That one, not a fan.
yeah. The old one was one of the first boxes I got in 2001. I think when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
It's classic, and then they all had like 16 layers of like fucking automotive paint on them. So like they were just like smears of color. They didn't
Like
even.
Tamiya.
Yeah, not even that. It was probably this like Dulux kind of with a paint roller. He's brown. He's gonna be blue. Yeah.
I wish I'd gotten the Amonheen Fellowship when it was out.
Yeah, I regret not getting the breaking of as well.
That was a cool one.
Yeah, I really do regret that.
Yeah, the old Fellowship. Yeah, the Moria one.
What about you guys? What would you like to see back?
Because we'll just bring them back. We'll talk to Games Workshop and get
We'll have a
them back.
chat. We got their ear.
We got the.
We don't really.
We got the power.
Probably shouldn't spread rumors.
Uh,
Shagrat is such an awesome hero, but his first model is not even holding a weapon, just holding a mithril shirt. Yeah, but that's how much of a badass Shagrat is. He will whip your ass with that shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard as dragon scale, so getting whipped with a shirt, it's probably going to hurt
That's true, actually. Imagine just covering your fist in it.
going into you. That's some like football hooligan style kind of like Millwall brick just going in.
Lace your boxing glove.
Yeah.
Drill.
Yeah, that's true. He hasn't got a weapon, but Shagrat is the weapon.
Probably hit a sidearm, right? Like,
You'd have a dagger.
Yeah.
Shagrat is the weapon, though. Everything else is
you
just,
just throw Shagrat.
it's just an extension of that.
Shagrat is disproportionately good.
He's awesome.
I disagree with everything about that model.
Crimson Halo, Feral Urukai need to come back. I've got a bunch of them. They're pretty cool models. They're trash in game, but they look so cool.
Oh, you'll agree with this one, Tom. Wildmen of Dunland.
My dude, Wildmen of Dunland need to come back. I
Yeah.
love me some Wildmen.
Yeah.
I want
Thryden.
just Thryden and a whole bunch of angry people shouting at
Yeah.
horse lords.
There was a dude selling an entire army of them for $200.
Yeah, I know.
Not too long ago.
Yeah, I
That's
probably
very
should have
tempting.
jumped on.
Yeah.
Oh.
Didn't sell for ages as well. Damn it.
Glenn, well, I finished my bourbon and it's past 2 a.m. I'm going to get some sleep. Cheers for the stream, Tom and Sloan, and can't wait to see FCG return after the return of Tom from Argentina. Thanks so much for joining us, Glenn. We've really appreciated having you, man. And again, thank you so much for kind of spreading the word for us overseas. It's been a huge pleasure.
Thanks for checking in, man.
Thanks for checking in with us. And yeah, flick some of those armies that you've got onto our Facebook page so we can have a look, man. It'll be really good.
Hell yeah.
Enjoy your sleep. Hopefully the bourbon keeps you nice and...
Saturday night there, right? Yeah.
would be, yeah.
Maybe Sunday morning sleeping, hopefully.
Enjoy it. Chris Brown converted him to be in a locker room. The old whippy tail. That kid's got bosoms.
Rat's tail. You wet the tip of it. Oh, it really draws blood.
I always get in trouble from that. My partner always screams at me whenever I whip her with the tea towel. She's much tougher than I am, though, so I'm pushing it.
It's true, she'll fucking beat you up.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Cool, we might jump off in a second, guys.
We're tuning out now.
Seeing as Glenn's going to bed, we might do the same.
Yeah, it's snoozy time.
Needs time for a nap. I gotta go
2
feed the
p.m.
cats. Yeah. But
Gotta get home.
thanks to everyone for joining us. This has been unprecedented amounts of fun. I've had a really good time with
Been
this.
great.
We'll be doing a lot more of these in future. Dan just says, also want to say a big thanks for the content. Mate, you're
My
welcome.
pleasure, man.
Thank you so much for tuning in and kind of supporting, and it means the world to us.
Yeah.
We are going to do the annoying little pitch thing at the end of this now. We do have a Patreon set up. We've just started it. If you want to support the channel, feel free to jump on there. There's absolutely zero pressure. We understand that life is expensive.
Yeah. Do $1, do $5,
Do $1, yep.
No dollars, and just send us lovely messages. We love all of them.
Yep. So we understand that not everyone's in a position to support, but supporting through spreading the word and just following our content and
Hell yeah.
everything like that is just as important. So thanks so much, guys. We really appreciate everything that you guys have been doing, and we hope we can kind of produce some more stuff for you soon and get some more people on the channel and everything like that. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Expect a 3-week hiatus while Tom has his well-deserved holiday, but we'll come back strong. I'll spend 3 weeks painting up a storm, and we'll be able to dive straight into some awesome narrative battle companies when you get back, eh?
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much, guys. Really
Thanks for
appreciate
tuning
it.
in.
See you
Love
later.
yous. Bye.